That hurt.
I'm tuned in like crazy, and I'm pretending like I know what they're doing, and I'm,
articulate and intelligent.
Greg's a bitch. That's all.
I find them offensive as hell.
I've never been a fan.
Yeah, fuck that.
Ooh, terrible! Bad! Not bad! Oh, pretty good. Okay, decent, fair, great. I love this. Go
This sucks.
Yeah, you really gotta wonder how the stuff gets made.
All right, welcome to the Straight Red Card. Thank you for joining us. I think it'll probably build as we go, as it always happens. And make sure you like and subscribe as we get going here. Like comma turds. So I basically he's telling you to like commas. Commas are good. I agree. I think commas are integral parts of sentences that you need to learn to use. Turd in the background.
Properly too. Not just
yeah. Well, kids these days don't know how.
Willy-nilly fucker commas, man, that was worst.
Kids these days don't know how to use commas or semicolons. That totally fucks everybody up.
Or
it's a semicolon.
How to spell. It's all text to speech.
Spelling I can accept. Like some words are just fucking difficult to spell. And like
there and there.
Well, knowing the difference between those so you can know which one to put in the sentence is probably a good idea. Yeah, but even all of us have made the mistake of using the wrong there because we're just typing away, right? And your brain uses the wrong there. I mean, it rarely happens to me anymore, but when I was younger, I fucked it up quite a bit. So,
only pronunciation. That's the only error I make.
With there? That's
it's rough. It's rough life, Derek. There. He said the same word.
Yeah, I know. It's weird in English that those all sound exactly the same, but are all different things. It's kind of like oil, all, and so if you're depending on what part of the country you are in, the word all, oil, and old all sound the same. Oh, he's an old boy. He's old. Or, yeah, I've got to put some new oil in the car. All right, it's oil. And then you got, and then oil of us are getting together, So anyhow, it can all sound the same. The turd in the background says, welcome back to the Straight Red Card. In a few days, we will know the September roster. I don't know why you're getting that excited about it. But, what is Greg Berhalter cooking up? Greg is the best manager in U.S. men's national team history, and his call-ups are back. Yay! He says, yay!
Yeah.
I mean, it is going to be either indicative. What it's going to do is give us more information about what Greg has learned since the last time he was the manager. So it is going to be interesting to get to break it down.
Okay.
But one thing I can guarantee you, Brett, is Brooks ain't being on the team.
We'll get
going to be there.
I've got a bold prediction because we know that Gio didn't play this weekend, but Dortmund came out and said they're expecting him back. He's at practice. He's doing runs. They expect him to be available second or third weekend.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point,
he could be available for September window, which I think Berhalter will call him in. You know why? In hopes to get him injured longer.
I don't think so. But I like the theory.
Test, Derek.
I mean, the fact is Greg doesn't want to have this one-on-one with Gio. I mean, he's not looking forward to it, and I don't blame him. But he's going to have it. But I don't think that Gio's going to be ready for September. It's like that one.
No. He shouldn't be called. Even if he's playing next week, should not be called in for September. Get fucking fit and healthy.
It's like that one chick you hung out with in college. And every time you hung out with her, she's like, I'm going to make this bet. Like we had this bet that this particular person I think we were watching Battlestar Galactica. She's like, if she got the name of the person playing the part wrong and I had it right. But she said at the time, if I'm right, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm wrong, I'll suck your dick. All right. And guess what? It never happened. So, and
You never hear your dick sucked? That sucks.
by her, you were thinking, okay, she lost the bet, and then every time she came over, you thought, okay, remember that bet? But it never. So I'm starting to feel that way about Gio Reyna. Like, when is he really going to be healthy? When is it really going to happen where we're going to get to see him start and play on a regular basis for Dortmund? That's
a common talking point right now. Like, people are all like, "Oh, Gio just can't stay healthy." Blah blah blah. But the thing is, he got his fucking leg ripped apart.
I get it.
It was a couple months ago and all that, but the kid's a fucking slow healer. But that wasn't like I'm running and I pulled a fucking hammy. You got a cleat to the shin.
I get it. I know. It's frustrating at this point because you would think from June till now that injury should have been healed. I'd rather him be safe about it rather than jump back in, though.
He wasn't elevating his leg when he was at his parents' house and icing it down. That was a problem.
You know about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know all about that.
Just want to mention one of the worst songs ever was on the radio on the way. It was the bump music before the radio show started. And I don't know why anyone would play this song. It's the worst Phil Collins song of almost all time. Studio.
It's also one of their more popular songs too, though, man. So
it's a horrible song.
Clearly, people like it.
Who the fuck names their kid Susudio? No one. No one on the earth is named Susudio.
We're in the studio.
Well, that's where it came from. Actually, it came from the drum machine they were using for the song, which was called something Studio, and he couldn't think of any other person's name that he could use there, so he's just like made up some bullshit. Studio. I hate that fucking song. Number one, it's a stupid fucking song, but the name of the song makes me want to punch him in the face. Fucking hate that song, and I hate the fucking name Studio just because it fits. It's like those guys that did "In the Gotta Meet Up on Air." Just they were singing in the Garden of Eden, but was so drunk or had marbles in his mouth when he sang it. They're like, "Oh, this is funny. Let's just name it "In the Gotta Davida." What? No, that doesn't mean anything. It's a fucking meaningless word that nobody knows what it means. It's stupid. Don't do that. Just name it the Garden of Eden and just go with the song. A horrible song, by the way, that goes on for way too long. So yeah, anyhow, bad song, like fake lyrics. Don't do that. Speaking of fake lyrics, somebody asked me on Twitter PM. They're like, so you know how you always criticize these positive, self-affirming songs? Yeah, they suck. I hate fucking positive, self-affirming songs. They're annoying. They're all over. They're being used for commercials, so I guess they're all making money. But he said, well, what about We Are the Champions? I'm like, it's kind of different. That song has some perspective. It is multi-layered. And can you pull the lyrics up for that? I want to show people why it's different. Because all the songs...
Wait. Just verify. Which song are you talking about now? So
We Are the Champions.
Okay, just want to make sure I have the right one here.
We Are the Champions. All right. So the lyrics are different. They're not one-dimensional. Let's look at the very first, and this is all we're going to cover. I paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes. He's admitting he's made mistakes. I've made a few, he said. All right. So that's already saying he's being introspective. None of those other songs today have any introspection whatsoever. It's just that you're fucking fabulous and no one should question you and you're the best person there ever is and no one could stop you because you're the goddamn best. That's not the same as this. This is somebody who says, hey, I fucked up. I get it. I fucked up. But now I'm ready to crunch forward. It's kind of different. It's got a dimension, Brett.
Derek, I can't help but think you were describing me when you said, about being perfect and not making mistakes.
Just because you married well, doesn't mean you need to heap it on here, Brett. Sorry. So anyhow, yeah, different thing. It's like saying the song "Heroes" by Bowie is some song about. It's not. Listen to the lyrics. It's not about that at all. In fact, it's called "We Can Be Heroes for Just One Day." because he realizes it's not fucking real life. You don't get to be a fucking hero your whole life. Ask Michael Jordan. It's just not true. He was a hero to many, but there are a lot of people being born now who don't know him at all and don't know him from Adam. So he's not a hero to everybody. But that's, anyhow, that's just how life works. Anyhow, I've got nothing funny. Okay, I've got nothing funny today. My wife is on a work trip with 9 executives at her work, all guys, so I guess she's the diversity hire. She's such a workaholic. Oh, God. All right, well, that's interesting.
Well, I figure since we're talking about, we are the champions.
Oh yeah,
like Queen. There's a bit of news.
There was a bit of news
that a certain song of Queen's is being removed from their greatest hit album.
Fat Bottom Girls. Like, I don't know. Is that song derogatory to fat girls or girls with large asses? Is it? I don't know.
With body positivity, I feel like this is a song for the ages, right?
I don't know.
I know that body positivity back in the 70s isn't necessarily the body positivity that we're experiencing today. But saying that, yeah, the apparently, and I don't know what the name of this. There's some streaming service out there. It's like Spotify, but it's not Spotify, because I dug through the Fox News article here, and they are removing it because it's controversial. It's not.
How so? I don't know.
It's not the news. Apparently this is a site that's directed towards children, and this song is not for children.
So it's the song about how gross and nasty. Is the song right? Is the song about how disgusting Fat Bottom Girls is? Do we have the lyrics? Can we pull those up?
I have the lyrics pulled up right here.
Okay. Are you going to take me home tonight? That doesn't sound negative. Oh, down beside that red firelight. Are you going to let it all hang out? Fat Bottom Girls, you make the rock and roll go round. That's a positive song about girls with big asses. I don't understand it. That's a positive thing. I was just a skinny lad, never knew good from bad, but I knew life before I left my nursery. Well, that's weird. Left alone with big fat Fanny. She was such a naughty nanny. Big woman, you made a bad boy out of me. I mean, was he just a kid? He's just a boy? I don't know what he's saying there.
He's looking at his nanny. He's like, dude, I'm digging this chick over here with this rotund butt,
Okay, well, wait a minute. There's some other parts of the song now. She was his nanny.
It's not that the nanny's doing anything. He saw the nanny, and he's digging it.
Is it a metaphor? She's not really his nanny, but because there's such the age difference, and she's got a big ass, I don't know.
No, it's his first crush in this sense, right?
I guess so.
He checks it out. He's like, I'm digging that right there, Nothing about the lyrics actually indicate that the nanny's doing anything to him. That'd be wrong. Then yes, cancel the song. But I don't think that's not the point.
I don't think that's what's literally happening here. I've been singing with my band across the wire, across the land. I've seen every blue-eyed floozy on the way. Oh my God! Okay, he took a shot at the blue-eyed people. That should make some people happy, right? The people that want to cancel this song.
Greeks want to cancel the song. Oh, no, they don't want to cancel the song. Never mind. They want to keep the song.
Yeah.
It would be the Germans that want to cancel the song, right?
No, the Germans the Germans would want to cancel it because they apparently back in history they like
floozies.
But their beauty and their style went kind of smooth after a while. Take me to them dirty ladies every time. Oh, okay. So he just wants to get me with, some fat bottom loose ladies. I don't think
he necessarily. I think this is probably written by somebody else in the band, correct? I mean,
I doubt it.
I would. Unless this was when did Freddie come out?
Freddie wrote most of his own lyrics, so I don't see that being.
There's a mix between him and what's his face, the other dude that plays the lead guitar. I'm spacing his name right now.
Not the big ones, my friend. This doesn't sound like something that guy would write. I don't know. Does it say who wrote the lyrics? But this sounds like Freddie. This is an overtly sexual song.
Brian May, thank you. Appreciate that, Brian. Appreciate that. I understand why you came to Brian's defense there real quick, because you guys share a first name.
Okay.
There you go. Boom! Suck it.
Oh. Shocker, I guess. All right. So I still don't see the offensive part
I
yet.
think he also pretty much he came up. Well, according to the documentary, I don't know if this is true or not, but he came up with the "We Will Rock You" song. At least
we will rock you. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Okay. Oh, won't you take me home tonight? Oh, down beside the red firelight. Oh, you give it all you got. Fat bottom girls make the rock and roll great. This is a guy who likes big butt girls. Well, we gonna have to cancel. I love big butts. I love big butts, and I cannot lie. We gonna cancel that one too?
Maybe it's already canceled. We don't know.
Anyhow, it's ridiculous.
Redonkulous. You were right to say that.
Yeah,
it's redonkulous.
I mean, if they want to cancel their own songs, they're welcome to, because this is what Queen canceling Queen, right? The publishers of Queen canceling Queen. They're welcome to cancel the whole catalog if they want to, because they own it. I guess they can cancel whatever they want. I just think it's silly. I don't think that. I mean, unless they want to bring more focus.
Let's just pull up the article. Take a look at that real quick.
They're trying to get more attention to Queen, maybe to sell more music. I don't know. It seems ridiculous either way, though.
So the audio platform Yoto has apparently dropped it.
Okay, well then fuck it. It doesn't matter then. It's just like individual people running individual music providing sites can do whatever they want. They can cancel whatever song they want.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to carry any song. So, so, oh well, it's not really news. I don't know why they covered it. I don't know why Fox.
Speaking of cover it, Derek, cover your camera because I'm going to throw up, or cover your screen because I'm going to throw up the bingo cards.
All right.
Mr. Desi Mitch is finally back. He's been gone for a while, but here we go.
We are the champions, my friend.
Always a guarantee.
I can't hit the note in that second part because he goes really, really.
Yeah.
I blew too high.
Never could hit that even without blown vocal cords, but I blew my vocal cords out at the Indy 11 games, oddly enough.
Oh, yeah. I could do even flow.
There you go, guys. Card number 1, guaranteed 1 right there. All right, guys, we're done. We're done there.
Right. All around like butterflies. All right.
We talked about that. You know that song's about, right?
Isn't Even Flow don't they make baby stuff like carriages?
No, I don't know if that's true or not. They might. I don't know if there's an Even Flow or that. The whole point of the song itself, though, is Eddie Vedder had taken a homeless person to breakfast one day. Like took him to breakfast and ended up writing a song about it because they talk about a pillow made of concrete, blah blah blah. And if you really listen to the lyrics or not listen because you can't understand a fucking word he says.
No, you can't understand a word.
But if you read the lyrics, it's an obvious story at that point.
I mean, Jeremy spoken. I couldn't understand a goddamn word in that. I couldn't. He doesn't enunciate, so it's impossible.
That's right up grunge alley right there, quite frankly.
Oh, by the way, Kid Rock drank a Bud Light. That pissed everybody off.
Ooh, I'd make a joke here, but no, I did not see that.
Listen, maybe that's all he had left in his fridge. He shot all the rest.
Shot it all off, man. How does he stuff some in his fridge?
He found a spare one. I don't think it's anything anybody needs to get that excited about, frankly. But that's where we are here. And I do think if we're going to ban flat bottom girls, they need to ban I love big butts and I cannot lie. Because it's the same theory. The basic premise is the
different
same.
Genres, and it's still a good song, fun song.
Yeah.
I say good is I enjoy it. But it's not like it's like some masterpiece by any means. But it's a fun song that everybody knows, that everybody rocks to, right?
I mean, if you
I don't know if anybody really hates that song. Does anybody really hate that song? Really?
I mean, no one loves it. It's kind of like I don't know. It comes on and you just like giggle. It's not serious. You can't take that song seriously. It's a comedy song. It's anything written by Weird Al. You're not going to love any of it, but you might find
It's
it funny.
catchy. You might sing along with it.
It's funny.
You know,
It's funny.
Amish Paradise, Fat. You can't go wrong with those. Those are classics.
It's funny stuff.
The Star Wars parody that he did. And I'm not going to bring up the Star Wars thing I've got right now because that's not really necessary to bring up right now. But
ban WAP while you're at it. What's that?
WAP. You don't know the song WAP?
Boomer?
So while they're sitting there canceling the Christmas song, It's Cold Outside. You remember that song? I gotta go. No, it's cool. Oh yeah, not that song there. That's a different song altogether.
But it's no, it is.
Well, while they're canceling that song, the number one song that was out was WAP. And it's
the pussy song.
Wet Ass Pussy. Yeah,
Wet Ass Pussy. I don't know if you can cancel it, but maybe it should be because it's disgusting. I mean, it's kind of gross. I watched the video.
Not a song necessarily available. I mean,
I watched the video.
Some things are also concerns too.
I watched the video. It's just made me more like throw up in my mouth a little. As long as I mean, listen, a wet ass pussy is a good thing. It's a necessary thing. I don't think it. I really don't think. I haven't.
KY doesn't like it, but.
I haven't really heard any songs about my long, hard, rock hard cock, right?
I'd have to think about that.
No, listen, because a wet ass pussy is all about a pussy being excited, but you don't hear anybody singing about I got a long, hard, rock ass cock. Nobody sings about that. How would you sing about it? I don't know how you would. I've never heard a song about somebody singing about their member being fully extended because they're totally excited.
I feel like there's got to be something out there. I don't know. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I mean, I feel like there has to be something. And as Brian Marco says, you could be the first, Eric.
I'm not going to sing. No.
You're an indie musician. Come up with a rock hard cock song.
That is not an indie rock topic. We don't sing about things like that. So anyhow, by the way, did you notice, Brett, on Sunday there was a third place game for the Leagues Cup? How humiliating must it have been to have to play the third place game in the Leagues Cup? Why would you even bother? And they did play it. And of course, the Mexican team, Monterrey, didn't play anything but backups for most of the game. And guess what that meant? Jonathan Gonzalez got to start.
He's still a player? What? There you go.
He got to start.
Trip G got it already.
Oh,
Anaconda.
yeah.
Anaconda don't want none. Let's see.
It's but that's a part of the Big Butt song.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying there.
Maybe he's referring to the movie Anaconda. Maybe that's all a whatever, an innuendo for having a long schlong.
A metaphoric cock movie. Thank you, German Goo Girls. We appreciate
Jennifer Lopez is in it. I understand why it's long and hard, right?
Yeah, sure. You do know what GGG is, right?
Yeah, Trip G.
No.
Greg Berhalter, right?
German Goo Girls.
No, it's Greg
That's
Berhalter.
what that is. No, it's
Everybody, are we all referring to Greg Berhalter as a German Goo Girl?
I mean, that would be disgusting. But seriously. All right, but there's a very famous porn company in Germany called German Goo Girls. Anyhow. System of a Down, Cigarro comes close. Cigarro. Okay.
I mean, I have System of a Down's first album, but I don't have anything. Oh, no, I have the BYOB too as well. So I got their second album, or the Must Steal This album. Is that what the album is? Or everybody's, whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't know that song. I'll have to go and listen to this song about cocks, right?
I will say this. The Kiss mostly Gene Simmons, wrote a ton of songs with sexual innuendo about him getting blown, him fucking chicks. Like, it was all like
stick his tongue out, right?
Horrible metaphors, like horrible use of metaphors to describe pussies getting banged and all this stuff. I mean, the guy's a fucking douchebag, number one. Anyhow. All right. So anyhow, we'll move on. Let's get to some topics or whatever you got, Brett, in your holster. Whatever you got in your whatever you got in your holster, buddy.
Derek, whenever you go to a public bathroom, do you ever feel a little awkward, going to a urinal next to another dude? So say you have five urinals next to each other. and you pick the first one, and there's 4 more urinals next to you that are wide open, and another guy comes in and he parks his ass right next to you. Do you feel a bit awkward with that?
Only if he starts talking to me, and I do think that would be rather weird. If there were other open ones farther away, and he wanted to just cock show and show up and whip it out and start peeing next to me. I mean, I would try to pay it no mind, but I would find it awkward.
Nice cock.
I mean, yeah, urinating is a private thing generally. Now, if you're have a few beers with your buddies and there's 4 of you lined up all urinating at the same time,
I mean, sometimes you can't
that's
help
different.
When you go to a bar and there's a trough instead of like urinals.
Oh, that's weird. They don't do those anymore. They don't
There's
even
one.
make...
There's one in Broadripple. I can't
Yeah,
remember
but
which
it's old school. They used to make
it's definitely old school, 100%.
Yeah, they don't do that. They don't treat men like farm animals anymore.
Like I love the fact that they take some of the ice that you could have in your cup with your drink and stuff, and they throw it in the trough.
Yeah.
So there's no splashback, right? That's the idea behind it.
I guess.
What's the point of it? What's the point of putting ice in there if it's not just like to prevent splashback?
I think some people just have like this fascination with turning
melting
the ice.
Ooh, draw my name in there.
Melting ice and turning it yellow. All right. Well,
Anyways,
I know you got a topic coming.
I got something. This isn't just out of left field. I mean, it kind of is, but it isn't. You know.
Okay.
How would you feel comfortable coming here? And I do have a meme that goes with it too.
No, that's not happening. I am not taking a shit next to another man. Those don't look like they are hooked up, though. They're just being ready to be placed in stalls.
I love the meme that goes with it, though.
Yeah.
Anybody who frequents the internet knows these memes, and it makes sense too. You know.
Yeah. I mean, humans haven't taken shits together since the Renaissance.
And I've got to tell you, man, if you're popping a squat down there, man, your knees are touching knees at that point. That's got to be fucking awkward.
Yeah, that's why this is just they're being waited. They're waiting to be put in. That's what this photo is. So
well, we know at least the urinals are in, man, because you can't just place those like that.
Yeah, you can. Oh, the urinals are in.
Urinals,
yeah, no. Those urinals are in.
Man. But that's a weird fucking setup, right? For just the urinals.
Well, I guess there's no way of cheating a peek. I don't know.
All
right.
I think I may have gotten rid of one of my topics because I thought I got rid of Freddie. Whatever. I don't recall.
No big deal. The show will only go on 2 hours and 30 minutes instead of 3 hours.
As Freddie says, the show must go on, right?
Yes, it does.
Let's cut the fluff a bit.
All right.
And let's dive into the soccer topic because we're almost 30 minutes into it. Might as well touch base on some soccer, right?
Well, we did some soccer earlier.
True.
The U.S. men's national team Where to Watch guide has removed John Brooks, who starts for Hoffenheim this morning. Greg truly is a despicable man. He's not the only one despicable. The whole fucking setup there at U.S. Soccer's despicable. If you haven't figured,
admin, man. Brutal. It's brutal.
Well, somebody's telling them to do this because they remove somebody. You have to physically go in and say, we're not covering this dick face anymore. He's out. And so I wrote on that, hey, we all know U.S. Soccer doesn't like John Brooks. We know Greg doesn't like John Brooks, but could you guys do a better job at faking it? At least fake like you like him. Yeah. But now they've given up any pretext.
Put him at the bottom of the list, do whatever, but man, when you just omit him, it's just fuck, man.
I mean, you put him on there, call him John Little Brooks, whatever you want to do. Insult him in whatever way you want. But I got to say, this is pretty ridiculous. I don't think it's the same dude.
I feel like that dude must be fired at this point, right?
No, because somebody told him to do it.
No, but that's the point, though. He does it. They got kicked back, and then he's the fall guy, right?
Oh, did they blamed it on?
I don't know. It's not like USSF is like, we fired our social media admin because he's.
No, I saw no response by them whatsoever on Twitter for this or X. I'm sorry.
That's true. Well, it was Twitter at the time, so you're allowed to say that.
But I mean, it's to the point where everybody knows it's not a goddamn fucking secret, and they're just embracing it at this point. They're like, yeah, everyone knows we hate them.
Yeah,
Everybody knows we hate John Brooks.
Why not just lean into it? Say, hey,
that's what they're doing.
If you want to go waste your time and watch this guy John Brooks, who's never going to play for the national team, he's playing at 9:30 on ESPN Plus.
I agree with you. They should do that, but I want to know. At this point, if I'm John Brooks, just tell us. We already kind of know what happened. Why don't you just tell us what happened? Because we know
he's got hope, right?
He got pissed off at Honduras. He caused a ruckus at halftime when he was told he's being taken out. He threw some shit. He threw a fit. And apparently that has banned him from ever playing for the team again. Why don't we just get it out? And why doesn't Berhalter just say, dude's got an attitude problem. Nobody on the team likes him. I don't like him. He thinks his dick is bigger than all our dicks. We don't want him on the team anymore. Just say it. Just get it over with. And we don't have to deal with this insult of him being erased from the list. Because that's what this is. Like, they're going to just pretend he doesn't exist now. We'll just own up to it. He doesn't exist for us anymore, so that's why we don't have him on the list. Just own up to it and say it.
It's the whole Amish shunning, people like, oh, you went out into the public and had sex with some random heathen. Shun. We're just gonna ignore that you exist.
Just put a fucking scarlet letter on him, and be over with it. You read that book?
A long one.
Yeah, we all did in high school. All right, what else you got?
I've got to stop this because we're going to go into some videos here in a second.
Okay.
Ready, you. Going to present. I'm going to share. We're going to do this. Bam. All right. Some guys. Let's see here. There's no context here. Just there's a guy working on something down on the ground, right?
This is not going to end well.
I think it's going to end great.
I can already tell.
What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know, but somebody's going to get like muddied up and splashed with something and knocked over. That bulldozer's going to hit him in the ass. I called that shit. Oh, wow.
He's hitting all high notes, man.
Oh my God, he hit him in the butt, not the balls.
I think he might have hit him in the balls. Maybe his balls were back there,
I mean,
he hit those high notes that most guys can't.
I mean, balls do hang if he's got a long pair and he's not wearing underwear. So there you go.
Oh man, but I saw that. I'm like, I can't not laugh at this, right?
No, that's good shit. But I could already tell what's going to happen. Called it.
Yeah, no, it was pretty obvious. But I want to see if you could call it.
What was the other thing I said I called this weekend? I said I called that shit. Oh man, and I sent it to you, and I'm like, I called that.
Senor River goes, it was cold as fuck. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
I'm sure clearly it was. Dressed for the winter. Well, let's be frank. The winter in the UK. Well, I guess it depends where in the UK. I guess. I mean, if you're talking about the Highlands, then maybe it gets super fucking cold up there. But if you're talking London, how cold?
Yeah, I mean, it won't get that cold, but it's still, I mean, it's groundwater, so it's going to be cold.
It's got to be like the equivalent of, say, like living in Arizona, and it's like 60 degrees, and people are wearing long, puffer jackets and shit, right?
Well, if you do that kind of shit as the bulldozer guy, you better make sure that dude can swim before you do it.
Well, I feel like that was maybe 2 or 3 feet deep. Because he went in there. It's not like he submerged underwater or anything like that. It's just like it was a giant puddle, right?
You look like pretty submerged to me, but I don't know. It's my imagination.
I don't think he went head deep.
All right.
Yeah. Ken P says it shrunk. The water was cold.
Turtle.
It's a turtle head poking out.
All right, what else?
All right, let's move on to the our animal video of the week. We keep bringing up these animal videos, but
all right, hold on. I got a song for this. This is the only one.
This is the only animal video. Yes.
Okay. Animal feature of the day. Yeah. All right, there we go. That's all I got for that one.
Cool. Jeez, what could this guy be doing? Oh, I want you to guess first. Go ahead and guess.
He looks like he got something in his hand, and he might
prime to throw, right? Prime to throw.
Feeding something like a crocodile. I don't know.
That could be.
All right, let's see how close I am.
I will. They don't specify in the video. They just run screaming. That is a projectile in his hand.
A rock.
He's throwing it at a hornet's nest.
Oh no, that's a bad idea.
Oh, it's close.
Oh, that's such a bad idea.
Look at it. It's fucking floating in the water.
What did they think was going to happen? It would just sink immediately?
Maybe.
That's a good
This
throw.
is called evolution at work here. Dumbasses. It's evolution for you. All right. Yep. They're lucky they didn't die from that. Uh-oh. Brett's got a visitor.
Sounds like some hornets got to my kids, apparently.
Yeah. Well, you might have to go do some disciplining.
The wife's upstairs. She got it.
All right.
Yeah, no worries there. All right.
All right. Evie, get on that.
Yeah. She'll
What's
watch
next?
it tomorrow and she'll hear it.
What's next?
Well, let's just go ahead and pull this bit of soccer news up.
Canada without Herdman. Sources: Canada's national team, John Herdman, is the front runner for the Toronto FC head coaching job. Is that a step up? Herdman met with TFC officials this month. Former QPR manager Mark Warburton among those interviewed. I bet he gets it. Plus a lot more detail. I don't know.
Wait. Yeah, of course. Of course he's going to get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he led the Canadian national team to win the octagonal, right? They made it to the final in Nations League. Of course, Toronto's going to take him, right?
I guess.
But to your point, is it a step up? I would wager that probably Toronto FC is going to pay him better than Canada's national team at this point.
That's true. Financial security. Canada's fucked right now.
Oh my god, I can't scroll through Twitter or X, sorry, without seeing video after video of Canadians crying about how expensive it is to live in Canada.
They did that to themselves.
Yeah. We're doing it to ourselves too, though, but that's the problem, isn't it?
Keep voting for fucking halfwits like Justin Trudeau.
Yeah,
and you get what you vote for. That guy is an authoritarian creepoid. That's all I got to say. And the only reason he's there is because his daddy was there before him. Didn't we do the Bushes here? Didn't they learn anything from having the Bushes? They said, no, we're going to do double Trudeaus. Listen, learn from it. You don't want the son. The dad probably will get you through the day, but don't take the son of the dad. Bad idea. Yes, bingo, getting close. Politics on the show. That's not politics. I'm talking about generational. You don't take the second generation from another president who's always been president. It's a bad idea because they're more than likely going to be spoiled fucking brats who expect to be loved. They expect to be loved. And Justin Trudeau certainly expects to be loved. Bush, I don't know. He was kind of a weird one. It's hard to put a finger on Bush Jr. because he's just a weird dude. He's just weird. He's still weird.
Yeah.
So anyhow.
So have you seen the pictures of Trudeau next to Fidel Castro?
I have not.
I don't know if I don't know. I don't follow Canadian politics by any means. I know who
I don't either.
Everything like this, and I don't know what his lineage is. But I know that there's a conspiracy theory, and Senor River continues here. There's a conspiracy theory that Castro is his father, and put side by side, they look a lot alike. And maybe there's a bit of IA generation there. I don't know, but they look a lot alike.
How little. A little, but you got to do some warping to make that happen. Castro in his younger years was a decent looking man. And I guess Trudeau's, I don't know, I guess he's thought of as an attractive man. Either way, he's still a twat. So there you go. All right, what else we got? Sorry, Canadians, you guys are just doing it all wrong up there. You can't fucking convince a single fucking billionaire in your country to give money to the Canadian Soccer Association, right? Yeah, they look a little alike. Yeah, I mean, it's not that close. Come on. The nose is close. I'll give you that. The nose is quite close. So you can't get anyone to fund your fucking team, and you elected a moron as your twice. I believe he's been there twice now. That's on you. That's on you guys. That's on you.
DMR says, "Oh my God, uncanny." We have John who says, "Research his mom. She cray."
That's totally believable.
Yeah.
I mean, when people of that kind of ilk have been in power for that long, yes, it's going to corrupt them, the way they think. And they've never lived amongst normal people, except for when George Bush went to Harvard. Was it Harvard or Yale? I can't remember. His dad went to Yale, I think. Anyhow, that doesn't really
say
count.
Potato, I say potato at that point.
That doesn't count as hanging out with normal people. You're just hanging out with other fucking rich kids. That doesn't count as being amongst the people that you're going to govern.
BMR says Yale.
And if you've never been amongst the people you're actually going to govern, then you're not really going to have empathy, which is a really important thing to have as a politician, to understand what they've gone through or what they're going through and what goddamn gas costs. Didn't we just see Mike Pence fake, after he couldn't figure out how to put gas in his own car, fake putting gas in his own car and continue to let them film him doing it because he couldn't figure out how to put gas in his car? Like, that's what we don't.
Did he try to shove it up the exhaust pipe or something? What happened there?
No, he couldn't. He couldn't get the pump to work. I don't know where this clip. It was one of those clips that you get on YouTube.
Standing in front of the pump. He's like, "You're supposed to put your card in there." He's like, "I am Mike Pence."
I don't know. I just saw
Mike
it.
Pence.
It was like one of those 1 minute clips on what are those things called on YouTube that they're shoving
Shorts?
down our fucking throats? Shorts.
Yeah.
Like they're coming up constantly on my goddamn feed. It's like, I don't really want to watch shorts.
The shorts are coming up on you, huh?
But I watched the shark ones. So I don't know why they put Pence on my fucking
You know, I hate spiders. I don't go out and watch videos and shorts of spiders. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but sharks have me in awe. Not only do I fear them, I think they're amazing creatures.
Some of the oldest animals in the world. Outside of that, them and alligators. Those are the two, right?
And one of the largest ones that could eat you. Yeah. What do we got here?
Real quick, David D says he went to both.
He went to both.
You were
Yale
asking about
and Harvard?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. He didn't deserve it. He was a C and D student in high school. But oh well. Who cares?
Nice little track video here for you, Derek. I know you like to go running, don't you?
Right. Yeah, I used to.
The best, right?
I haven't been able to run for years.
Yeah, knee surgeries do that to you.
Yeah, it'll fuck you up.
I'm still going through that and all.
Yeah,
and I'll continue to go through that. It's not going to be an improvement. I'm not going to go out and run track.
No, you're not going.
40-year-old at this point, you know.
You'd be lucky to continue to play beach volleyball.
Yeah, be happy with that.
I'm playing golf, and at least I can still do that.
God,
all right,
dude,
what is this?
After years of not really doing much of any physical activity and then going out and play beach volleyball, man, it's like after the third dig, I'm sitting there going like, God.
Oh yeah.
My this is the worst.
Yes, dude. Just any activity of that where you have to exert yourself,
like, and just stretching the dig. You know, it's like, oh, I pulled something. I don't know what it is.
And you're
Can I
like,
get a beer? Can I get a beer over here, please?
And you're like 13 years younger than me too, so you can imagine where I'm at. All right. I just used the old college trick to open
with the lighter
this beer, which is again the quad, which I've already had the other day, so I'm not going to describe it except for that it's 10%.
That's what Berlin says they do in Germany.
Yeah, no, yeah, I learned it in college.
Yeah, so they still do that today. You know, yes. we have legit bottle openers because, you know, we're not heathens.
Right, I can't find mine.
But anyways, speaking of Berlin, and we'll get to this in a second, but he almost had to ship you over a crate of Belgian beer.
He did.
He almost did.
This close.
Oh God, Sargent just couldn't put it away, right?
I know.
Like, anywhere else besides straight in the fucking middle.
I know. One more. I think by the end of the season, he will be shipping me that beer.
Well, he only said his next 5 goals, so you're down to 4 goals left.
I know.
I think he'll get one in the next 4, but
I do too. He
anyways,
said next four games.
No, 4 goals. He said in his next 5 goals. If he doesn't score a real striker's goal, which is beating his man and putting it in the back of the net, if he does in the next 5 goals, he'll ship you a crate of Belgian beer.
Oh, he's really close to that.
It's like this close.
I mean, yeah.
Oh my God! Well, no, he scored 1 goal already, right? The header.
Yeah.
But then he had another chance. He had a chance there, and that would have been the second goal that he would have gotten in the 5.
And then he had another chance after that too. He could have He could have a brace.
Dude, he had a fucking rip in that first half. And I know we're already getting into it here.
Yeah.
But he had that his first shot of the game. Oh my God, that missed by mere centimeters.
That was a fucking rocket too. That's one thing Josh Sargent does have, a fucking leg.
Thank God. About damn time we have somebody who's willing to shoot outside of the box.
And he is willing this year, and we'll get into it later.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this over.
This is the track. Tarek, who do you have? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people here. Who do you have winning this match?
The most unlikely. The white guy on lane 2.
Oh, say, okay, yeah. Anyways, here we go. We're up.
Oh, they're all white guys, aren't they? Oh no, black guy wins. Yeah. Okay. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Is he okay?
He just disappeared. Oh my God! You gotta be kidding me!
Oh my
Here he
God!
goes. He's like, oh my God, dude. He is so fucking pause that shit.
Yeah, that is so lucky. He's lucky. He could have got severely fucking hurt. Somehow he slid between all those bars. There.
So everybody like runs up the track and then bounces into it, like boom, like they do right there, right?
Yeah,
but
he trips.
He trips like, oh shit.
Right through the hole. He could have smashed his fucking skull against those
Any
bars.
of those pipes, man. Any of those pipes.
You might want to think about covering that shit up.
Seriously. Right. That was really, I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. All right, so before we get into our topic, I do have one last video I want to pull up here, and this is kind of funny. I know a lot of our peeps probably are big Star Wars fans, or were big Star Wars fans. I'm not sure if they're big Star Wars fans anymore. Now we're copyright struck. Thanks, Dirk. I appreciate that.
All right, there you
Anyways,
go.
whether you like. Sorry, I'm reading this. Mike B says, "Laughing my ass off at Derek's live reaction."
I haven't seen it.
Whether or not you like the Disney Star Wars, and my personal take is that Star Wars died when George sold it. When he sold his company to Disney, at that point, it was done. We were talking about this beforehand, but Indiana Jones, same fucking boat.
Yeah, I took my son to watch all the other ones after, but they weren't very good.
Dude, the new Disney Star Wars sucks donkey dick. So,
there was the one good one where they try to get the information from the Death Star. What was that one called?
Rogue One was good. I like Rogue One.
Rogue One was good. Yes.
Yeah. And I like the Mandalorian for the first season. The second season was.
I watched them all.
I love the season finale of the second season. That was fucking boss.
I watched them all so far. Are there new ones? Did I miss something?
No. Then they went to the Boba Fett. Not Boba Fett. Book of Boba, right?
Yeah. Oh, and so that's done.
Now they're branching back to the Mandalorian. They may actually be going on right now. I'm not 100% positive.
I don't know. I haven't checked on it because every time
Al's got it. The Ewok Ventures are the best. I agree. The Ewok movies. Do you recall the Ewok movies?
No.
Oh my God. There were 2 Ewok movies, and they're both fucking phenomenal. But they were back to like the 80s and 90s, so they're like really sketchy quality. But I mean, that was like the ABC on Sunday, like around 1:00. They always play like the Disney movie or whatever like that, and they always played that shit.
Is it a cartoon?
No, this was like legit, like Ewok puppetry, like not puppetry. I think they were probably
missed it
inside those costumes.
Missed
it was straight to video. You're right, John.
Okay.
it wasn't like in the theater by any means, not at all. But those are great. I love those things.
No, I hated the Ewoks.
Yeah. Well,
They
no,
were supposed, they were supposed to be the planet of Chewbacca.
No.
Yeah, they changed it to Ewoks. The original script.
Oh, maybe the original script, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's possible. I don't know about that.
It was supposed to be Chewbacca's home planet.
I'm sure what it was is that George was looking at the fact that he could make a lot more money off some cute, cuddly merchandise there.
That's
what
it.
he's probably looking at, right?
Well,
nobody wants an 8-foot tall orangutan, right?
Well, they pushed it too far in the series, the next 3, after the first 3.
Oh,
but anyhow,
you mean the prequels?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, the prequels were kind of hated on at the time, and some people liked them, but there were a lot of people hated the prequels. And then
not as much as they hate the new ones.
Well, then the sequels came out. All of a sudden, people were like, I kind of like the prequels now, you know?
Yeah. Now you're like,
I
okay,
I got respect for that shit.
Those are a lot better than the ones they just did. Yeah. Which they ruined. There were some good actors in the new ones, and they just failed to use them properly. I don't know who Han Solo's son guy is, but I thought he could be, give him the right lines and give him the right plot. He could be a really good character. And they just never really gave it a chance. But anyhow, here we go. Obi-Wan.
Jesus, the sequel the sequel trilogy. It was all wrong, right?
Yes.
I think most people can agree to that.
Not everybody. I've been criticized for saying, oh, well, yeah.
Isn't most.
you just don't like it because of this and this and that. And I'm like, no, I just didn't. I wasn't entertained. It didn't go. It wasn't the sort of adventure I was expecting.
It had no path.
And it was, some of it just didn't make any fucking sense. So, okay. Obi-Wan tells Luke Skywalker about Ahsoka Tano. That's the chick, the Jedi chick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick Kunz says, no, don't play the clip. Oh, we're playing the clip, guys.
Why?
This is right up our alley. So,
all right, Brett, don't cancel us here.
God, I hope we didn't cancel for this.
Is this shit we're going to get canceled for?
No.
I'm trusting you.
Me too.
Okay.
Did I ever tell you about Ahsoka Tano? She was your father's exotic teenage alien apprentice, a fine piece of jailbait from a more civilized age.
Jesus.
She had the tightest body and the perkiest little breasts in the galaxy, barely legal in most systems. Anakin and I used to double team her at the end of every during the Clone Wars.
God!
We'd even have the entire 501st run a train over her. Part of official Jedi training, of course. In time, she learned how to handle a meat saber better than anyone else.
Okay, that's probably enough.
No, it continues, Derek.
Dude, this is not going to look good.
Temple. She wore a miniskirt every day, so we told her there were no pants in space. And since she was constantly doing acrobatics, you'd get a glimpse of her orange pussy mid-fight as she'd do a flip while slicing a B-2 super battle droid in half. It was surreal. We taught her to grip her weapon backwards like a dildo. And she constantly got captured by pirates and slavers almost every other day.
Oh my God.
It was ridiculous, like a constant porno loop. You have no idea.
No idea.
So much like your father.
What?
Wow.
Oh, God damn.
That was well done. Great humor. I mean, humor we would like. Not everybody else would like that, but it's funny shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Might be monetization was off a long time ago.
Yeah, we don't even monetize these shows anymore.
It's never
live
happened.
shows are
live shows are gone at this point when it comes to
which
monetization.
reminds me, yeah, if you want your comment to definitely pop up, I don't know, send us $1.99, 99 cents. I don't know, what is the lowest you can give to get your comment right here? 99 cents?
I think it's 99 cents, and I think it's just like a sticker or whatever. But
yeah.
David E's got it right here. AI at its finest. That is 100% accurate. God.
Yeah, that's a good way to use it. I like that.
Luke's face, laughing my ass off. Yeah, absolutely. Now this is the issue that Obi-Wan was talking about, right? And like she was 14 during the Clone Wars.
Hmm.
So he talks about like she's barely legal in some solar systems. You know?
What flag is that?
Oh, I don't know.
I know my flags. I don't think I've seen that flag
I don't
before.
know if it is a flag.
Looks like some sort of odd. It is a flag.
6 Zappy Beef.
Is this like a new, like a rogue version of the New Zealand flag? Is that what that is? I don't know what that is. Anyhow, let us know. I'm curious. I'm curious because you know, I'm a middling Renaissance man. Papua New Guinea, just a wild guess. Okay. Could be one of those island nations, maybe.
Yeah, there's something random, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, he does specify it. He does say yeah.
Okay, it is
the judgmental deity who literally posted immediately after him got it right. Well played.
Congratulations. It's one of the flags I don't know. Anti-cancellation funds. Thank you, Mike B. We do appreciate
Definitely
it.
appreciate that.
Your name is really close to Mike D.
Yeah.
You know, from the Beastie Boys. Mike Diamond. One of my favorites. Not my favorite
That's
Beastie
what we need.
Boy.
We need to get the
but,
Jar Jar fan club flag, right?
well, I think we actually need to start talking about soccer.
No, then well, it's all my fluff. So we're absolutely going to be talking about soccer.
Okay, I was going to say, if we keep doing this, no one's going to continue to watch the show anymore.
Oh, come on. We have 156 people watching, which means we should have 156 likes down below, people. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you like it. Or we're getting to soccer now. For the KY.
For the KY.
That's
Thanks
Brett.
For the $1.99.
Brett uses that with EB. I stick to Vaseline. So we'll send that $1.99 to Brett. U.S. men's national team player, Weah, impresses. McKennie gets a chance. Sargent shot. Okay, hold on here. Weah impresses? They didn't ever pass him the ball. I watched the game. He stood out on the right wing the whole first half and
You're gonna make me find. Here we go. I guess we can just talk about the Weah part right here because I have snippets, but I didn't get anything about Weah or McKennie here. So
okay, fresh starts and second chances. A positive weekend for Timothy Weah, Weston McKennie, and Syria got underway. Welcome to the U.S. men's national team player tracker here. Each week we will. All right.
Skip that. Here
blah blah. Jacket. All right. For Weah, who joined Juventus from Lille in July, it was a lively league debut as he helped the Turin Giants to an impressive 3-0 win. Udinese. Playing as a wingback, he got burned, by the way, twice. He completed 2 out of 3 duels, 3.97 progressive passes in 90 minutes per 90 minutes. Okay, blah, blah, blah. But his exit meant a chance for – no, they took him out of the game because they were winning, and he was a defensive liability in the first half. Anybody that watched that saw him get burned twice.
Well, and this is the thing that people are talking about. Is he was withdrawn at halftime with a foot injury.
Okay,
Who
so
knows if he would have continued in the second.
I
half.
saw that he got stomped on his foot. That's true, but McKennie far outplayed Weah in the second half. Whatever Weah did in the first half wasn't close to what McKennie did in the second half. They actually passed it to McKennie, like they trusted McKennie, like they went outright and they purposely passed it to McKennie.
Let's also specify and clarify for all the people watching that McKennie's also been there for 3 years now.
Well, no shit.
And he's got the experience with the team. The players on the squad know him, and Weah had literally got there during the preseason, has a handful of games under his belt plus some practices. Of course they're going to trust McKennie at that point more than Weah, simply because they know who he is. They know what he's capable of, and they've played together. There's something to build off of when it comes to chemistry. We talk about the national team all the time.
Excuses.
That's like I'm saying, you can't throw somebody in there who might be more talented. We talk about Scally. Let's use Scally as an example. Well,
you think
more
Weah
chemistry with the rest of the squad than Scally does. I'm using him as an example. I'm not arguing that point, but I'm just saying they know who McKennie is. They know what he's capable of. They understand where he's going to be, and they have an understanding together. So it also doesn't shock me that they went down the left side, which is where Chiesa is at. Anyways, that's where they want to go 90% of the time, regardless.
It looked so deliberate.
I'm not saying it's not.
That Weah at sometimes just hanging out on the right wing, picking his nose. I'm just saying that McKennie looked way better. He played better. He was more
looking sharp. Yeah,
he looked more technical. He looked fresh. He looked roaring to go. Not that McKennie wasn't. I mean, Weah wasn't. But actually, there were certain parts of the game, and this might have been after he just got his foot stomped, where there was a counterattack, and Weah was nowhere to be found.
Dare say that.
Nowhere to be found. Shaq Moore better than Joe Scally because of chemistry. Brett,
Shut up, BMR. I don't hear it.
Did you say that?
Well, I said I was claiming what the reason why like Shaq Moore or Cannon would play over Scally, despite the fact that Scally's the better defender, because they have chemistry with the team itself. And that's what Berhalter would go with.
Well, then you're just doing your best Berhalter guess. Yeah. That's not actually. That doesn't mean you actually agree with it.
There's quotes, and he put my name and the date.
No, I get it. But
this is what Brett said. Look at him.
You should certainly defend yourself there. I just think that McKennie looked way better, and if I think they start off the next game and they're both healthy, I would start McKennie at right wing back. Well, I just think he plays better. He looks better. And I hate that they're competing for the same spot, and they shouldn't be.
I don't think they are. But in the end, I think what it is McKinney's coming back from a slight injury, a very slight injury. He picked up towards the tail end of the preseason. And you have Weah going out. Their next person to put back in is somebody who's just getting back from injury and healthy. You might as well throw McKinney in there. I think McKinney's going to be competing for one of the three center positions.
Okay, I hope you're right, number one. But I also think that Weah needs to do better on defense.
It's a new position. It's a relatively new position for him. So I don't blame him for having faults when it comes to the defensive game.
I get that. I wasn't born yesterday. I'm just saying that he got burned really bad once, like so burned. And then the other time was like a pseudo burn. Not that bad, but still, like, where were you? And you're so fast. How are you getting burned? Like, Weah is a fast motherfucker. How is he getting that badly burned? I don't know. And I mean, if I were the coach, I'd be like, man, I hope that gets better. Now, he was in good attacking positions, but nobody passed him the ball. So, I mean, they did it.
Got to go work on, yeah.
That's got to change, too. If Weah is going to actually activate his career at Juventus, somebody's got to pass him the ball.
He'll continue to start. He'll continue to start at right wing back because, quite frankly, who's going to play?
They got nobody else.
We got Weston who could play there, sure, because Weston's a tank and he can play anywhere. I mean, he can, but he's not his strongest position by any means. Same thing we said about when he was at Leeds.
He looked good there.
Sure. Well, he understands Juventus' system. Quite frankly, he's been there for. Whether this is third or third year.
I'm just saying that headline's bogus, Brett. That's all.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, did he watch the game? Listen, I watched the game. I know you couldn't because you were off in fucking Santa Claus, Indiana. But
Santa Claus. No. The game was on Sunday, right?
Yeah, but you could watch so many games because you watched Union Berlin and you watched. What was the other game you watched that day?
Norwich, right here, Sargent.
I watched them all. I watched a shitload of games this weekend. So
I watched Union Berlin and Norwich this weekend.
It's not fair because you got kids and my kids are out of the house and they're gone and I'm divorced and it's just
you got no special lady friend and taking. Hey, Derek, you got some spare time here? Let's go and do this shit over here.
No, it's just me. It's just me and my cock. That's it. That's all that lives here, and I love it. It's special. It's extra special. All right, what else we got?
While we're talking about this this article, this is from The Athletic, and it's not bad article. Greg, you did a damn good job, I think. Quite frankly, Derek disagrees with weigh-in presses and McKinney.
Well, he doesn't probably write his own headlines. That's a lot of writers don't get to write. I know this because I was a writer for many years. You don't get to write unless once I got to big soccer, I got to write all my own fucking headlines. So I was the boss of me. And I didn't get credited as I did in other fucking soccer site as staff writer. Fuck that. That's bullshit. I can't believe I ever submitted myself to that because that's just ridiculous. If you write an article, your name should be on it. And
I agree. That is bullshit.
Yeah. Editors would take your shit and they'd give it's like some ridiculous headline that would get clicks. And I get what they're trying to do, but it just pissed me off. And that's why I ended up at Big Soccer. I love Big Soccer because I was in control.
You can see whatever the fuck you want, yeah.
Well, we did
yourself too.
We didn't. I mean, okay, the D-Rec shows were out of control, but our show was quite humble, and my articles were like filled with like curse words or anything like that.
I think that was more us getting to know us, because quite frankly, we're not the same show we were back in 2010.
Yeah, but we're
quite a bit different.
We had all those big guests on our show back then. What, we're gonna like invite Jim O'Brien on the show and just start out the show talking about
I know what you're saying. Yeah, we would absolutely nix the fluff if we had somebody else on here.
Yeah, we're going to intro the show. He's waiting to get on in the waiting room.
Unless
about Jan Brady's pussy. I mean, listen, you couldn't do that.
Unless you're already a fan of the show and you dig the fluff. At that point, we'll talk about the fluff. Like Berlin was here, we talked.
Oh, we had no fluff back then.
No fluff back then. Yeah, 100%.
We didn't have.
It was all about show, but we didn't do live shows back then. So why would you put fluff at the beginning of a recorded show? It makes no sense.
Well, and it's hard when you have somebody on your show and they're coming on like Jimmy Conrad or O'Brien or Joe Max Moore. I mean, the focus of the show is them. They're the star of the show. We're just asking questions. How did Aronson play for Union? I personally
let's go ahead and cover the Union game. Union Berlin game right now.
And here's what I told you was going to happen. I told you they got Voland, right? And I told you P. Fox done. He is now 4th or 5th place on the lineup.
There's rumor he's going someplace. Do you remember where?
I haven't seen any confirmation of it.
I thought it sent something to you.
But he was in the 18. He did not play.
There's talk that
Voland got his scrub minutes.
Okay. There was talk that P. Fox was on his way out. And that correlated with what you were saying whenever they went out and got him, right?
Yes.
So, who knows if obviously he's still there at Union Berlin, so clearly that hasn't taken, but I mean, that doesn't mean that something might not happen in the winter, I guess, but who knows?
Oh, we don't know. I mean, anything can happen in the dying hours of the transfer season. I mean, Behrens is definitely, after that game, taken over the center forward spot.
Hatcher does that,
he had 3 headers, all 3 for 3.
He had another, I think 2 headers that he could have put away, but that were just missed or saved.
I don't remember those.
Yeah.
But he had a great game. He didn't get that much service, but when he got it, he finished.
Yeah.
That's something PFOC has failed to do when he's come into the game lately. And Becker actually started off the bench, which was shocking to me because to me, Becker is like the best player on that team. And but they went out and signed some other players that are just hot shit that they started, like the Fofana. Anyhow, great stuff. Was a fun game to watch. Enjoyed it. Aronson, I thought, did fairly well, Jacko. I thought he played pretty decently. I don't know what you're expecting from him, but what you would generally expect out of him is lots of energy. And then he got the hockey assist on the first goal. And, he was there. He was a nuisance. He was all over the field. He had some effective passing going forward. He had a shot that was limp dick.
His overall stats weren't great, but I think the stats weren't indicative of what his performance was. My take on Aronson in this match was I thought it was a pretty solid match. My only real complaint, ironically, is that he wasn't asserting himself like he used to do with Leeds, like taking on players. He was playing a little too safe for my likings.
He would set up like he was going to do that, but then he wouldn't do it. Yeah,
it was his first match. I understand with a new team, he doesn't want to make any major mistakes. Maybe that's what it is. But he wasn't quite the Aronson that he would take on a player or two, get fouled. Maybe he gets called, maybe he doesn't. And one thing that I didn't note in this game is he was quite a bit more physical than he was when he was with Leeds.
Yes, less floppy.
He grew a pair, and he was like bouncing into people, going up for headers. I mean, he was flinging himself into that, and that was one of our biggest complaints. Predominantly, you always used to say, like, "Oh my God, he's just flopping all over the place."
Yep.
And you know what? He's finally not doing that. That's a massive increase. Now, when he got subbed out and he had to go off on the opposite side of the pitch and walk around, there's a video out there of all of the Union Berlin fans giving him a standing ovation.
Oh yeah.
But if you actually go on Twitter, you would think the game was all completely different, right? Because there were a number of very vocal people who claimed that, oh my God, it's a horrible performance. He's Brandon Aronson playing Brandon Aronson in Union Berlin. I'm like, well, yeah, of course, it's who he is. Right?
We have been so fucking critical of Brendan Aronson at Leeds. Can we just stop for a second and say his first game at Union Berlin was probably better than we thought it was going to be, and that he performed pretty well, and that he must be performing pretty well at practice, or else he wouldn't have got the fucking start for the first game. I thought he did perfectly fine. It wasn't as bad as some of the Leeds performances we saw from him last season. It was a step up, and I'm not saying that he's not going to be like this all season, i.e., he's not going to give us B performances. He might have some bad stinkers, but this team is a counter-attacking team. This is the perfect fucking team for Brendan Aronson to play for. They sit back and they wait, and then they attack. This is perfect for Brendan Aronson. Now, okay, do they play high press ball? No, they don't really play a whole lot of that.
Not really.
So he's not going to be like running all over like an idiot and like a chicken with his head cut off like he did with Leeds.
Moments of that, though.
There were
different moments of that.
He did some chasing, but not a whole lot. Not like he did with Leeds. It was not even close to that. So,
yeah, different styles as a whole. You're right. Yes.
Yeah, I would give him a B for his first game. Yeah, I'm giving a B-ish.
B minus. I'm going to go B minus simply because I wanted him. He did certain things better that I liked, but again, I wanted him to be his typical assertive self. That he's taking on players. He's opening up the lanes, because I feel like that's going to open up more here than it did with Leeds. Because quite frankly, they have a striker here who can fucking put the ball away, right?
Yeah.
Unlike Leeds, who has Bamford. Apparently, even Bamford's injured right now.
Bamford's in the stands like normal, injured at the beginning of the fucking season. Allie's fucking injured at the beginning of the season. We didn't even talk about Leeds, but Leeds are a fucking disaster, dude. They are fucking relegation fodder this season in the championship. They have lost so many quality players, and then they got quality players on the team that don't want to play for them anymore. They lost Adams. They are fucked. You look at that starting lineup they just put out for the last game. If that's what they're going to play all season, they are absolutely fucked. They're done. They are relegation, lower mid-table relegation fodder. Good luck to them. I mean, I'm going to watch every game.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Leeds fan now, and even though there are no Americans on there. And it's sad. It's just sad to watch it.
Just so I don't forget Al's super chat here, I want to pull this up before we get too far away from Weah and Juve.
Al Weinstein says for $4.99, thank you, Al. You know we love you. Who is our third best if Weah is out? Our third best?
And this is as pertains to the athletics article. That's what he says.
Our third best right winger?
It's got to be winger in general, right?
Well, I mean, Taylor Booth's injured, right?
Aronson's in question by half the fan base.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone wants Reina in the midfield, but he's injured too.
Yeah,
Zendejas. The answer is Zendejas.
Yeah, I mean, that's really hard to say, isn't it? Right now, with all the injuries that are going on,
it's Dest, right? We're gonna push Dest up to the winger role.
I think that would be better for Dest's mentality, but I don't know. He'll just join the rest of Pepi.
Throw Scally outright, push Dest up top, right?
Well, you could push him in the midfield. Dest in the midfield.
Oh, it's true.
You don't have to push him all the way up top. But you know what? He'd probably thrive as a right winger. I bet you he would.
I would too. Yeah,
I mean, listen, some players get boxed into fucking positions like Timmy Chandler did early in his career as a right back. He's not a fucking right back. He's a right winger. He always was a right winger. And when they played him like that, later in his career at Frankfurt, he had moments of genius. Now he doesn't even make the 18 because he's old. Not winger, all positions. Who is our third best performing player? Our third best? You mean this weekend, Al?
Or do you mean in general? Because one would have to imagine that Pulisic would be quote unquote first, correct?
Well, that was Monday.
That was today.
So, if you want me to give rank performances for the weekend, Pulisic's number one.
He says in general.
He went out there and kicked ass today. Took no prisoners. Was a fucking battle. A battle axe.
In general, over the season, who's our third best player?
I'm
assuming Pulisic's probably going to be considered most people's first, right?
Yeah. Well,
considering Weah's going to be the second, though?
No, Reina would technically be second or first, competing with Pulisic if he were healthy.
When he plays, yeah.
Third for me right now is McKennie, because McKennie outplayed Weah in that first game. I think McKennie offers more. I think he'll lead to more goals. He'll get more assists. We'll see. I thought it was Weah, but he don't look that.
I was also saying Sargent's is second.
Oh, well, Sargent's a good one, but the problem is that Sargent is playing in a league where we're not going to get to see him every weekend, are we? Now, it's tough to watch because it's not always on, but I'm going to watch every one because I watched it and I loved it. I thought Sargent was a badass this weekend, and that's what I want to see. I want to see a Sargent like he did this weekend when he was open on the top of the box. That motherfucker didn't pass it to him. He looked at that motherfucker after that ball went out of bounds and went, "The fuck, dude? I'm fucking standing right here wide open. What the fuck are you doing?" Like, Josh Sargent showing some fucking balls for the first time in his career. He's calling motherfuckers out on the pitch and saying, "Hey, I was here. You needed to pass it to me, motherfucker." Yeah. And I like that. I'm sure he doesn't say it like I'm just saying it now. I'm sure it was nicer. But he's saying it. Whereas before, Josh Sargent wouldn't say anything. He'd just go, "Oh, okay." And
I think Josh has the anger face like, "Hey, Alex, I'd really like it if you pass me the ball from time to time. It'd be great, right?"
Well, even the gesture, he's doing the whole, "Hey, right here, here. You missed me. I'm right fucking here, right where I'm supposed to be, and you fucking blew it." So, I mean, didn't say any of that, but that's what this means. Hey, I was right here.
We'll jump back to Leeds here in a second because you started talking about Leeds earlier. We kind of got off onto a super chat and everything like that. But we're talking about Sargent now, so let's talk about Sargent now, right? In the Athletic article, they talk about player of the week or player of the year, whatever it is, player who made the most. And they talked about how Josh Sargent is making the most of it now that
Pookie's gone.
Not even that Pookie's gone, but like how is Norwich ever going to fill the hole of Pookie? You know?
I didn't have any problem. I thought Josh Sargent would do just fine.
Well, Josh Sargent was the leading goal scorer last year with Pookie, right?
So, well, I also like the way
it makes a difference.
I like the way Wagner's doing it too. He's not just playing Sargent by himself. He's got Barnes up there with him, and that he gives Sargent. Barnes is always up top, right? Sargent's a roamer underneath him. He gets to roam underneath Barnes. He gets to go deeper and pick up the ball, get it to Barnes and make a run. I love what they're doing. I love what Wagner's doing here. And if they continue to play like this, they should have a shot at promotion at the end of the season.
They've got some nice chemistry between the two of them right now. And Wagner also made sure to make them roommates when they were on preseason.
Sweet. Smart. Smart.
Yeah.
And listen, I thought Barnes was burned out. I'll be honest. When he went to Norwich, I thought, he's kind of a burned out player. But I'm wrong. He looked good in this first game. We'll see how he develops as the season goes forward. But that Barnes-Sargent partnership looks promising.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, I think that Sargent played well. I know you watched the game too. I'm impressed.
How can you not watch that game and say, "Man, Sargent looks fucking good right now"? And a lot of the people are talking about like, "Oh, what's your striker depth at this point for the U.S. men's national team?" And Derek, if you had to list your top three right now, who's your top three in order as far as a game tomorrow? as our striker?
Right now I'm going Balogun, Sargent, Pepi.
And that's the tricky part right there, because obviously Flo's a special talent, right? And we just got him. And,
But,
you gotta want to keep playing. But Sargent has been firing on all cylinders for the last year, and now we're starting a second year, right?
But Balogun needs a team.
He needs a team. We'll get to that too, but
Yeah,
he apparently has a team lined up.
maybe.
Quickly read through this article real quick on as far as Sargent's concerned. I feel like it's gonna bring up some questions here.
Well, they're overstating this. Norwich had a big hole to fill when Finnish striker Teemu Pukki called time on his illustrious, Carrow Road career to head to MLS and Minnesota United in June. After 88 goals and 210 appearances for the club, supporters may have wondered who would be able to even begin to plug that gap. No, they weren't. No one was wondering that at all. Who wrote this?
This is Greg O'Keefe.
Well, he's wrong. Everybody in Norwich, and if you watch videos of Norwich fans and fans who do videos for Norwich, nobody had any doubt who was going to fill that fucking role. And they were, a lot of them, very fucking excited about the fact that Sargent was going to fill that role. Yeah. He led the team in scoring last year from winger. From winger position.
I was gonna say, look at this right here. So I don't know if you can see the shoes. Can I zoom up more? Okay. So Sargent, USA, forward and midfielder, 13 goals, 2 assists.
Yes.
Teemu Pukki, forward,
10 goals,
7 assists. He got 7 assists though. That's not bad, dude.
Some of them were to Sargent. Listen, I don't know what this guy's reading or who he follows on YouTube. As you might, Brett. I watched some of the Norwich fan casts and videos on YouTube, so I get a feeling for what they feel and what they know. And yeah, I peek at the Norwich City, Twitter stuff too, or X stuff. So I know this was never a problem for most of the fans at Norwich. We're looking forward to having him, that is Josh Sargent, start and play full-time as a center fucking forward for Norwich. So this guy doesn't know what he's talking about writing this article. None. I know I'm not making any friends. That's normal.
Yeah. He does talk about the 13 goals he got last season and stuff like that, but it's just the topic of, as far as saying like, oh my God, this is Sargent's chance to fill in Pukki's shoes. I'm like, you mean the guy who got scored less goals?
The guy who outscored last season? Yeah. Come on, dude.
I think he filled in his shoes last season, right?
He outfilled his shoes. Yes. It's so fucking silly, dude. But it's like it's making drama where there is none.
Sure. Yeah. But good news, Derek. I mean, Sargent is actively being scouted by another team. And he might not be with Norwich much longer.
No, he's staying at Norwich.
Do you know the team that's interested in him?
Klagenfurt.
Leeds United. Leeds United is actively searching for him. I'm bringing up this is Adam's topic here. We're going to talk about it in a second, but I want to bring it back to Leeds now. That Leeds is actively seeking, according to some rumors, actively seeking Sargent's services.
Here's how much of a chance they've got at that. If no, I can't say that.
Well, we were talking about this last season when they're still in the Premier League. We're like, Bamford is missing shot after shot. And we're like, bring Sargent. There's clearly a liking of American players at that point. Why not bring Sargent? He's firing on all cylinders in the championship.
That's when
we joked.
Yeah,
we joked
that's fine.
Joke about that, right?
But Brett, yes, it's true. We said that, but this isn't the same Leeds team.
It's not the same Leeds. You're right. Yes.
Norwich has a shot at promotion. Why is he going to go to Leeds or sinking like a ship at sea with 8 holes in its hull? Like, that's an offense to Hull, actually, Hull City. Listen, this is a team going down. Leeds is led by morons. It's being the team's being filled out by people who are signing people that are not a good replacement necessarily for what they had to let go because of their fucking moronic decisions last season. Leeds, just watch Connor. Connor will tell you. Like Connor, although it's disturbing, he's like, oh, I'm fine with Adams leaving. Like, okay, you really fine? Because if you could have held on to him, this is like the level where he's going to tear it up. He's going to rip a new asshole to these championship teams, and he would have definitely kept you guys competitive.
He certainly would have stopped Leeds from tying both their opening games, right?
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, they're just such a pathetic team. I can't even believe the guys that are starting on this Gelhard. You're like, what's going on? Where did everybody go?
Having Adams in front of your back four in the championship would
it's a wrecking ball.
Your defensive abilities.
Wrecking ball, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm not pretending that Adams is anything other than a wrecking ball. I'm not. That's what he is, and he's probably the damn best wrecking ball out there in soccer right now. And there's something to be said for that, because guess what? A wrecking ball in front of your front four gives everybody else in front of him a chance to actually play freely. And there's value to that if you're a manager that understands how to use that. All these people that are like, oh, yeah, but he can't pass. No, he can pass. He's just not going to make a through ball amazing pass. He's not going
to break the lines. He's going to maintain. He's going to break up their possession. He's going to maintain possession, right?
He's not going to dribble through three players. Yeah. Okay, it's not fucking happening. But what he is good at is there are managers that value that, and if he finds the right place to play in a system, he can allow the other two midfielders to do whatever the fuck they want, because they know right behind them is a wrecking ball, and that allows them to be the freedom to be artistic, to be creative. So people don't understand that. They're just like, oh yeah, he's not talented. You know, he can't pass. You know, he can't play. Well, he's a wrecking ball. He goes and gets possession for you. He steals the ball from the other team. He absolutely clogs lanes. He protects your back line, so you don't have to worry. If you're another midfielder, you're like, I'm not worried. Fucking, I got the wrecking ball behind me. But we don't talk about that. We just bust his balls because he can't make the through passes, you know, and all the other creative shit. No one's expecting a guy like that to score goals. It's not what his job is.
Well, and half of the Leeds fan base is out there celebrating, not necessarily celebrating, but saying, you know what, good riddance to bad rubbish, if you will.
What?
Because he made the move. And basically their thought process is like, well, if you don't want to be here, then fuck right off.
Well, that I understand that.
But I mean, just like, they're like, oh, because Tyler came out, he had this whole post where he's like, you know, like, I wish I could have done a lot more for Leeds, kept them up, et cetera. And people are like, well, if you wish you could have done a lot more, you should have sacrificed another year and helped us get it promoted. I'm like, well, that's not his prerogative.
That's just hurt fans. That's just hurt fans, dude. They're hurt. They have watched half the team leave. Wober, who they were expecting to keep. They're going to lose Nanto probably. They lost Aronson. They lost Cock.
The Bundesliga? Yeah.
Porn.
They lost Anderson.
Yep. So, I mean, dude, they lost a bunch of shit because they put on all those clauses, escape clauses for these players. So, yeah, I mean, they lost McKennie, obviously. So, yeah, this is not the same team.
They lost McKennie on that front.
Dude, if we pulled up the players that started this last game, you're not going to recognize half of them. You would be like, who are? Like, you'll notice, like, Struck's there still, A-Link. Yeah, okay, those guys we remember. But you're like, some of these kids that they got on the field, you're like, I really don't know. Ampadu I knew from Chelsea, you know, but is Ampadu a wrecking ball? No. He's not the same kind of wrecking ball that Adams is, right? He's got other skills that Adams doesn't have. He's not going to defend the back four like fucking Adams did when he was there. So anyhow, not even close. And if fucking Connor thinks that Ampadu is the same kind of wrecking ball that Adams is, then he forgot to watch the games last year. And he's just fucking stroking his own cock to make himself feel better. There, you're not going to find Ampadu.
It can't be coping. You're right. It could just be coping at that point, right?
No, dude.
We're better off without you. Get out of here.
There's no way that Ampadu is even close to the kind of defender that fucking Tyler Adams is. And Connor, dude, don't even. I know you're just trying to make yourself feeling better about losing Adams, but don't you even compare the two players. They're not players to compare. Ampadu's a totally different player. He's got totally different skill set. And one of them ain't being a wrecking ball. It's being a decent defender, which is what he is, but he ain't fucking Tyler Adams. Anyhow. Yeah. There you go. Ampadu's been relegated to Sheffield, Venezia, and Spezia. Impressive. Whew. Hey, yeah, again, Connor just stroking his own long fucking cock. I'm imagining it's long because I just don't want to offend him. But, you know, I like his show generally, but I found that commentary was ridiculous. Alex Sachs, $2. Thank you, brother. I'm sorry I overpronounced your last name. Why are people hating on Leeds? I'm not hating on Leeds. I love Leeds. I became a fan of Leeds, and I'm going to watch every game I can this season because I'm still rooting for those guys to get back up. But I'm mostly bashing on the commentary from the fans and people like Connor who are like, yeah, fuck Adams. Go away. You know, Adams was injured. If he had been healthy for the end of the half of the rest of the season, they might not have been relegated. We don't know that. We're not Nostradamus. We're not God. Nobody knows that. But I, God, for sure think they would have had a better chance at staying up if he were healthy.
Well, I think with Adams and what's this other center? Marco? Was it Marco? What's his name?
No.
What's the other?
The midfielder. The guy who always busted his balls.
I was busted. Roca.
Yeah.
So Adams and Roca with McKinney up top in front of them, I think would have been a completely different midfield as a whole. It would have been 100%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, you would have had the defensive security, plus you would have had McKinney in and around the box. There would have been chances. Games would have been different, and they could have staved off relegation. Then Adams went injured, and then they spent X amount of games trying to figure out how to replace Adams, and it took them all the way up until like the final 3 games before they threw Koch up there.
They never really did. Even Koch can't replace Adams.
Sure, but he was probably the closest thing you could do to replace him in their squad, right?
Yeah, it really. Right?
Right? I mean, where that came from, that's just this show thing now.
As much as we all love Koch, I don't think he's a real replacement for Adams, although he is as close as they got, right?
Yeah.
Am I reading this? A compromise was reached eventually. Bournemouth, yes. So Bournemouth signed Adams. And Adams did an interview today. I watched it. It was about 6 minutes long. And Adams did his Adams thing where he's like, I'm really looking forward to getting back to the Premier League. You know, the manager has a great vision for what I'm going to do with the team. And now I'm just going to need to get healthy. But I know I can make a difference here. And that's why I'm here. I mean, he just says all the right things.
Well, the one thing that people are throwing a lot of shade towards Adams on, and this is all Leeds fans, is when he talks about how Bournemouth has quite a bit of history. You know, the history is great. You know, great history. And I don't know anything really about Bournemouth, but they're just running with that. So,
I mean, listen,
they were like a 4th or 5th tier for like the longest time, and they eventually worked their way up.
You got to give any American who played in MLS the leeway to say that Bournemouth has great history. Because
like anybody besides the English fans, right?
He came from MLS, a league with no history since 1994, 95. So, I mean, listen, those teams have been around forever. So it has history. Bournemouth has history. Does it have like titillating, ball snuggling, anal licking history? No, it doesn't. It's fairly, they haven't won a lot. All right. Chris Garrett
says Bournemouth almost went extinct, but fans saved the club.
Yeah, they got shaky history. Lots of clubs have that too, actually, by the way. A lot of clubs are been near the point where, hey, financially they're wrecked. And they gotta make a call. So that's nothing new. Hopefully, with some of the new rules, we won't see this kind of overspending. But then that just favors the clubs who've got Todd Bowley as their fucking owner. So he can just continue to spend his little clown dollars to buy a team that looked like a bunch of fucking the laziest, sluttiest, but dirtiest and most ineffective whores you ever went to at a whorehouse, because that's what Chelsea looked like this weekend. They look like the worst sluts that you'd ever seen at a whorehouse. Like, they were bad. They just sucked. They were awful. It was all over again. We were right back to the bad Chelsea. Bad Chelsea. And it was kind of funny because I was watching it with my dad, and we were just I was laughing. And he's like, Derek, why are you laughing at how bad Chelsea is? And I say, because I fucking hate Chelsea. I said, I've always hated Chelsea. The only reason I watch Chelsea is because Pulisic played there. He's like, oh. He's like, I always thought you liked Chelsea. No, I told him. I had to explain to him. No, I watched it because I'm rooting for West Ham. I told him I'm rooting for West Ham. Go West Ham. Beat Chelsea. I fucking hate Chelsea. I hate clubs that overspend. I hate big clubs. I hate giant clubs. I hate clubs too big to fail. Fuck it. I hope this one does. I fucking hate Chelsea. I hate Real Madrid. There are a bunch of teams I hate, and I'm not going to list them all here because then people won't like me anymore because they're their club. But I don't like big clubs. I obviously started out supporting
You cannot
Fulham,
lie.
and I cannot lie. I supported Fulham. That was my first club,
Nice
like 30 years ago. I started supporting Fulham. So I'm a little club guy. Always have been.
Well, Derek,
Leeds is as big as I got.
Ooh, that sucks.
I know.
Sucks
But
for
Leeds
lady
is,
friends too, right?
Leeds is traditionally has been a big club. They're not really a big club anymore, but you know what I mean.
So I got a notification from Evie just a second ago. She goes, please refill my drink before you go to bed. I said, sure thing. She goes, tell all your friends and listeners they're all dirty twats.
That's classic. If Evie were on right now, I'd give her the old knuckle tap. Tell all your fans they're dirty twats.
But main reason why I pulled this little bit here, Derek, was we had a back and forth on the last show as far as whether or not Bournemouth got their bid in early or on time, and Leeds was saying no, and we were going back.
Oh, the fax machine argument.
Yeah, the fax machine argument.
That was a classic.
So we were on this back and forth, but then I'm reading this, and it's like whatever. It's like Bournemouth initially initial approach had triggered the 20 million release clause, with Leeds denying that it happened, et cetera, et cetera. But then they talk about how they came to a compromise. So what do you think that means, Derek? Who's in the wrong? Who was right? Who was wrong? Or do you think they just came together and said, we're both wrong. This bitch over here shouldn't have shred that or that fact. Yeah.
That's it. That bitch who got the email and she printed it out and she's like, oh, fuck it. Shredded that shit.
We'll accept the fact that you had that bid in early, but instead of the 20 million euros, or pounds or whatever the fuck, it's going to have to be 22 million pounds. And Bournemouth's like, yeah, it's sold.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it?
Whatevs.
Yeah, he was out of there. So I'm good for him. I mean, get healthy, Tyler. Get healthy. Mm-hmm. Taylor, get healthy too. Taylor Booth, get healthy. Right?
And Tillman.
Taylor Wellman? Is he injured?
He's always injured, Derek.
I heard he had Peronis.
You
know what that is?
I have no idea.
Peronis disease? That's when your dick bends.
Like to the left and right?
It can do either way. Maybe like it bends, right? Peronis disease.
Like a C shape, right?
No, not that bad. No, it's not like
arthritis of the dick is what you're saying?
No, the dick still fully works. Everything's fine with it. It just bends off to an angle. It's called Peyronie's disease. Now, I don't know how bad it gets. I haven't seen like nobody's shown me photos, and I've never gone to look for them of how bad Peyronie's disease is. So, no, I do not have Peyronie's disease, Mike H. My dick is actually perfectly straight. I mean, not perfectly. Like I haven't gotten it out with a abacus and measured it with a fucking ruler to determine its absolute straightness. So.
Like you're like the African nations that have do the discs in their lip to make them bigger, but you're like putting like rings on your cock to make it straight.
No, Brett, That's not what I do. It's not my thing, brother.
But I mean,
You know-
I guess the fact that it curls to the side or whatever, like a hook. I mean,
No.
You're
Not like a hook.
You were talking about the your special lady friend you had back in college who would come over and you guys were watching Battlestar Galactica or whatever, and she's supposed to give you a blowjob. And that puts
Well, she lost the bet, Brett.
Sure. I'm sure she did it on purpose, though. Because what female really... There are a couple of them out there, don't get me wrong. But how many females out there are actually watching Battlestar Galactica?
I think it's back then, Brett, we only had like 30 channels. That was all that was on at the time.
You had a scrambled porn you could have watched.
Nah, that would have been too obvious. You
could have easily fish hooked her when she was doing that, right?
No. Off the stage. Yeah.
Exit stage left.
Oh, I could reveal some names, but I'm not going to. I don't want to get any. I know I've said way too much about about past girlfriends on this show.
Yep.
Hopefully nobody looked them up because that's just horrible. I don't want them to get anyhow. And this is somebody
Reyes says, would this even be a straight red card episode if there were no pee-pee jokes?
Pee-pee.
I think that's what makes that entire that statement the best is when he says pee-pee jokes instead of penis, right?
Right. Yeah. I know.
It's funnier when he says pee-pee jokes.
He's very nice about it.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got here? Former Milan Udinese manager Andrea Stramacchioni was impressed with Weah's contribution in Juventus' win over. Okay.
Maybe you need to go rewatch the match, Derek.
No, I don't. Juventus was got an interesting player with potential to be expressed. Okay, that's obviously a translation.
100%.
He knows how to attack and has a modern open-mindedness because he is able to defend. I saw some horrible defending. All right, whatever. Listen, that's fine.
It continues.
U.S. national team coach had pointed him out to me as a player with huge potential growth. For growth, he has time to adapt. He is a futuristic player, and they are right to bet on him. I'm sure he's going to do fine this season eventually. I just don't think that first game gave him an opportunity to do what Weah does. Like, Weah didn't get to be Weah in that game. Not enough for my tastes. I'm sorry.
No.
But hey, if everybody wants to suck his cock and balls, I'm fine with that. Go ahead.
To each their own, right, Derek?
It's going to get better. That's all I'm going to say. You want to start the stroking early before it's really good? That's fine. I'm totally fine with that. So Junior Des leaves Barcelona, thank God, to join PSV Eindhoven to sit on the bench alongside his Pepi and Tillman.
Yeah.
Loan deal with buy option. Barca will cover 50% of his salary, as reported. 10 million buy option clause, not mandatory. And if he doesn't play, he gets zero.
It's just, man, Barcelona really wants to offload him, don't they? They're willing to pay half his salary and then say, you don't actually have to buy him at the end. We just need to offload him for a bit.
10 million is what we said, too. That's funny.
Yeah.
I think we might have said 11, but 10.
Hopefully the boys at PSV will start seeing some playing time soon, man. I know De Jong's firing. He's doing well. But yeah, hopefully Pepi starts seeing some minutes. Because at some point, you imagine PSV's up 2-0, 3-0 against the team. You might as well just sub out your striker and get your plan for future striker or backup striker some minutes, right? I don't know.
You would think, Brett, but
I'm biased, so I can't.
Listen. Even Pete said something on his Twitter X. Excuse me. It's like, yeah, you sit around.
Weird.
I know. You're watching the game. You're like, when's Pepi coming in? 85th minute goes by. 87th minute goes by. You're like, oh, motherfucker's just not getting in because they've already made 5 subs. Game's over. So. I don't know, man. We mentioned on the last show, at least I did, could be a real challenging season for all 3 of those Peckerwoods at PSV.
I don't know, I'm thinking that Pepi will eventually get his time. He'll get moments. It may not necessarily be all the starts in the world, but and I'm not saying that Young's going to get injured, even though some people are like, "Well, he's injury prone." I'm just saying that at some point Pepi will get his opportunities, and much like what I've seen of the few minutes, 7 to 8 minutes per match he's gotten up until last match, he's still making the runs. He's still getting in opportune locations, but the team needs to pass to him. And he'll capitalize before too long, but it may not necessarily be as fruitful as most of us thought it was going to be when he made the move.
I just want to be clear. I called them peckerwoods. That is a term of endearment around here. If I call you a peckerwood, I probably like you. So I like all three of these guys. I hope they get some playing time. But right now, they're peckerwoods because they're sitting on the wood, and they're gonna probably I don't see Death starting right away. Pepi's going to play cup minutes, it looks like, to get his shit going as a starter. Tillman, I have no fucking idea when he's playing because he's coming off an injury. He just got there. Has he fit in yet?
I think we're definitely going to be taking bits of minutes of moving forward, and he'll eventually work his way up, right?
Right.
It's not going to be like, I'm here, give me my minutes. He's got to work his way into it, just like anybody else.
Right.
So,
all right.
Hopefully
Jason,
it pans out, right? That's all
right. Jason Gonzalez Ortega for $1.99. Thank you, brother. We appreciate it. Soto still better than Jesus. Whoa, that's saying something because Soto has not played yet for Klagenfurt this season. He didn't even make the 18 last game.
Thanks for the $1.99 on that, though. And don't know if we agree, but Soto still has to, show himself, right?
Yeah,
still something capable. But then to be fair on that argument, though, Jesus shouldn't even be in consideration for like the top three spots. So
no,
that shouldn't happen.
He shouldn't. It's not fair. Al Weinstein, thank you, brother. $1.99. We love you, Al. Haji Wright is having no issues so far. So good.
Yeah, scoring goals. Nice.
So far, so good. So we'll see.
Him and Sargent are going to be contending, aren't they?
I think Haji Wright's about his right level right now, so we'll see. I always felt like, this was a risk, but he's big, he's physical. That's what the championship asked for. I thought he would fit in pretty well. I think he's more skilled than DK is, so I thought he'd do okay. If DK can do well in the championship, why wouldn't Haji Wright?
Yeah.
So, all right. I got to go pee, Brett. I'm getting old, so I'm going to let you handle this next topic, and then I'll be right back.
You're going to skip on the Chelsea topic, huh? Go for it.
Well, you started off, and I'll be right back. Interest in Arsenal striker Florian Balogun is serious, and real official negotiations have started. Brett, here's what I'm going to say to you.
Go pee. Come back.
Yeah. Good luck with this one.
Oh, no. So, I mean, having dug through all the comments in this thread and a couple others too, I've come to the conclusion that this might be one of the few times that Chelsea/English fans agree with American fans. I don't know if anybody really wants him at Chelsea. I think everybody wants Flo, or all the U.S. fans want Flo to get playing time and want to be on a club that's going to actually play him. But I mean, if this is the move, man, we're looking at once again having to suffer through watching Chelsea for another season or so. I don't know if anybody wants that. But yeah, so I mean that's the talk, and apparently they've agreed to personal terms. So I mean, as long as they can meet whatever the 60 million or whatever stupid amount that Arsenal's bid or place for him, they'll get him. And I think Chelsea's the only team. We mentioned this weeks ago when they were talking about the overall price value for Flo, that Chelsea was probably going to be the only team that could really pony up the cash for a player like Flo.
I'm back.
Heyo, I was basically stating that U.S. fans and English/Chelsea fans all agree that they don't want Flo at Chelsea. Because American fans don't want to watch Chelsea, right?
We don't, but again, they have no center forward.
That's exactly what Go Blue just said.
They got nobody.
Mm-hmm.
They got no one. Zero
exactly
zip.
Says, please go to Fulham or Monaco. Well,
Fulham can't afford them.
Chelsea's got the money. That they're willing to spend stupid funds on players, right?
Yeah, Fulham and Monaco cannot afford him. Not even on a loan to buy term basis. So, yeah, I mean, if this is going to happen, it's going to be Chelsea, and he'll probably play because they have no fucking center forwards. They spent all this gobs of money on midfielders and wide players, and they got no fucking center forward. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, Todd Bowley's got to be embarrassed, at least to buy who he has working for him. I mean, I would be.
How much money he's flooded into that club at this point?
Oh, he's pissing money away.
They have no direction. I don't know if we mentioned this earlier, but maybe this is where I got it from, or maybe I heard it from Pete. But basically, the argument is Chelsea has no direction at this point. They've got players that are talented players, but they're just not meshing with each other. And it's not working.
It's early, so maybe they will. I'm not going to say they're never going to mesh. But I remember one thing that was telling about my dad watching the Chelsea game. He's like, who's this guy on the left? That's where Pulisic used to play. He's been awful. I said, that's Mudryk, and he is awful.
Do you see the clip of his flub this past weekend?
I didn't need to see a clip of it because I watched the game. And he was horrible. I watched it with my dad.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
atrocious. Yeah.
I mean, I know that you're rooting against Chelsea. Why would you sacrifice time when there's no stake in that match for you?
Because I got back from playing golf with my mom.
Yeah.
And the game was on. And we were having lunch. So I was watching with my mom too, but she actually walked the dogs in the middle of it or whatever. So but I was making lunch and watching the game with my dad. And, he was like, really like, who are all these dudes on? I've been watching Chelsea. He's like for 2 years with you. When he came over, I don't know any of these players anymore, or very few of them. I don't remember any of these. I was like, yeah, they revamped the team. It's all new players. No Pulisic, no Kovacic. No, I mean, just go down the list. Go down the list. Afu Kepa's gone.
You keep talking about Chelsea. I'll be right back, okay?
Oh.
And I got another topic if you want to talk about this one while I'm gone, okay?
What do we got up right here?
That's what I'm saying. Go and talk.
Well, I'm going to talk about it. All right. Oh, shit. And he just totally fucking left completely. What the fuck is up with that? All right. So Manchester United have joined Wolves in the scouting of Seattle Sounders duo Obeg Vargas and Reed Baker Whiting. I think it might be a little early for Reed Baker Whiting. I'm not sure I really want Obed to go to Manchester United. I'm just not a big fan of that. I don't like the idea. There are other clubs he could go for or go to. I would personally recommend most of our players go to Germany first. I just don't like the Premier League as a starting point for young players. How many of our young players has that worked out for? Can't think of many. Who went there as a super youngster at 18 and made it work? Dempsey went when he was older. McBride went when he was older. Those are success stories. Ream went there when he's a bit older, had to fight for his spot, fight for becoming the player he became. But that's on Fulham. It ain't Man United. I don't like Man United. I don't like the whole idea of it. Club scouts were seen attending Seattle's game versus Atlanta yesterday, also scouting 18-year-old international Caleb Wiley. All right. Well, listen, this is, again, we've gone and we talked about this before. It's about getting too excited about something. Like, scouts are fucking everywhere now. If you don't know that, don't make a big deal out of this, because it's not a big deal. Those Manchester United scouts and the other scouts that were there from other teams are all over MLS looking for new players. This is not a big deal. It's nothing to get excited about. And Obed should stay as far as he fucking can away from Manchester United. Go somewhere else. Go to Germany. Much better opportunities in Germany. In Germany, there are at least a handful of teams that play young players and play them from the start.
Yeah,
go to Manchester United and go play for their U21 team for 3 years. And yeah, bullshit.
I mean, yeah, at this point, does any young player really want to go to the EPL?
No.
Unless you're already an established player at another league.
No. Don't.
So, yeah, it'd be a waste of time.
It is. Agreed. Next.
Well, let's bounce into the match of today. Today's match. Big Milan.
We already talked about it so extensively already, though. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. So
Pulisic was fucking great. He was just great. Spot on.
So
his chemistry with Giroud is phenomenal.
Yep, it's definitely carried over.
Yep.
It was funny because the only reason I pulled this post up here, right, is because of how it's worded. And my mind went a completely different way when reading it. I want to see if you can pick up on it.
The right wing will be occupied by Christian Pulisic. Pioli has already seen him in action during the American friendly matches to the extent that he has earned his starting spot. He knows how to inflict damage on the opponent.
I'm just the start of that whole post is like the right wing, and I'm like, all of a sudden my mind went to politics. I'm like, wait a second, how's this working out here?
Yeah. I mean,
context is everything, right?
Yeah, but Brett, there's really no such thing as a left wing and right wing anymore because the media are constantly redefining what that is, depending on who they want it to benefit. Let's just be really honest. The establishment and the oligarchy, and that's all there is. You can talk about right wing, left wing all you want, but that's what we got. We got an oligarchy. All right, moving on.
Yeah, he had an 8.5 in the match, which is a pretty fucking solid performance. Even if you didn't watch the match, you could definitely glean from that it was a damn good match. And just, if you're interested, here's some of his stats. Not bad.
Yeah, pretty good. No, I loved the game. I watched it when I got home today on replay. Now, I will say this about fucking Paramount, those fucking assholes. Like, if you are watching the game and then you cook dinner and then you go take a piss, they'll have a countdown because you've done no activity, right? You haven't clicked the buttons on your little fucking controller to let them know you're still there. And they do a countdown. And if you don't respond to it in time, I'm like, I got out of the kitchen. I'm looking at this countdown on my TV while I'm watching the game. And it took me to their fucking Champions League special instead. It said, no. Oh, yeah. Since you didn't reply, we're taking you to a fucking program you didn't want to watch and never selected. Fuck those assholes. Paramount, get that fixed, you fucking dumb fuckers. Don't take me away from a game that I'm watching because I got to go take a shit or take a piss or cook a fucking hamburger, you fucking idiots. Morons. Spencer Dirty, thank you for the 566. With some of...
Whoa, what happened? 566?
Yeah, it's usually 69.
Come on, man. You're better than that.
That's less than a share-giving sexual experience that we're used to. Share-giving sexual experience.
I mean, I can make another joke. I'm not going to. All right, continue, though.
With some of our mid and wide players out of position, is this cause for concern? Pulisic right winger? Where? And West and right wing back? Not really. I mean, listen, Pulisic looked at home today at right wing. He really did. He looked like no big deal for him. And with his left foot, it shouldn't be a big deal for him because he's got a fucking rocket of a left foot. It's solid. It's shit. I'm not really worried about the wingback thing for Weah because in Juventus system, it's very offensive. It's very up the field.
It's also different. It's definitely different than what, say, Berhalter's backs are.
Yeah.
So it's not like throwing Weah as the desk position is going to be apples to apples at that point. It's just not. It's a different role altogether.
Hey, and Spencer, no big deal that you fucked up. You just went from share-giving sexual experience to cuddling, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Dick and dick, right?
Butt to butt.
Butt to butt and dick to dick, yeah.
No, that's not how that works, Brett. You fucking...
No, 66.
Dyslexic motherfucker.
Is this cuddling instead? Is this big spoon, small spoon?
Yeah, it's spooning. 66 is spooning. Yeah. Or butt sex. I mean, if you're into that. All right, Spencer Darity for five. Wait, we just did this, didn't we? Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I just pulled it up. Take a look at that. Hold on, just get rid of everything here.
Are we pronouncing your last name right, Spencer? Just let us
He hasn't
know.
corrected us yet. He could spend another $2.69 and tell us that we're spelling it or pronouncing it properly.
I'm just saying how it would have been pronounced in his homeland.
Yeah.
His ancestors' homeland. Or human centipede.
You ever see that movie?
No.
Do you know what that movie is?
No.
So it's a horror flick.
No, I definitely do not know. I do not watch horror flicks.
Yeah, so it's a horror flick basically where some scientist ends up kidnapping 3 people, and they sewed mouth to butt.
Oh, I've heard about this.
So the person up front eats the food, etc., 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 etc. I won't go into too much detail there.
And the person in the back eats the shit.
Everybody besides the first person eats the shit.
That's gross, dude. Who came up with that?
I don't know. Some sick fuck. But you know what? It probably only costs like $45 to make, so they probably made a lot of money on it.
Yeah. Spencer Darity says, $2.69. Thank you, brother. You got it right this time. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you, brother. We do appreciate it. All the support. All right. So let's get on, and we'll finish the show up.
With Spencer's heritage, I feel like he supports the club that we're part owners of now, right?
That's true. No, his heritage would be Irish, not Scottish.
Fair enough. Good point.
Yeah. And our team.
Come on.
If you didn't know and you haven't been on the show before, we actually are part owners of a team in the 5th division of the Scottish League, not Premier League. We did send money to them. We own, I don't remember how many shares. 3 shares? 4 shares? I don't remember.
Along those lines.
Yeah. All right. Also on Friday, Turner went 90 for Nottingham Forest. Horvath was actually and a win. Yeah. Horvath was right behind him, riding Pine like he is really excellent at doing. Trusty was in the 18th for Sheffield United, but did not play. We warned you about this.
I warned
you, Brett, that this would be difficult. I know. You keep saying that, and I keep texting you every weekend saying, no play for Trusty. Ream got totally, I know we said jerked because it rhymed with all the other words. He didn't get jerked, all right? He got fucked, basically. He got a red card for what I think is a shoulder traffic. Did he cup the guy's shoulder just a little? That call never happens. If that was a Manchester City defender doing that, it wouldn't be called. If it were a fucking Liverpool defender, that fucking shit would not be called. But because it's Fulham and
fucking
some
working class people getting fucked
working
again,
class
right?
team,
God,
correct?
He
got called. Did you see it?
I saw the highlight, yes.
Bullshit.
I didn't watch the match, though.
Bullshit call. And not only did he give up the penalty kick, but he got another card. And he got sent off the fucking pitch.
Yeah.
Bullshit call. Fuck you, ref. Sorry, I'm a Fulham fan.
Carol among us agrees. Second yellow card against Ream was absolute BS.
Even if I'm being totally objective, which I can't be,
fans can't.
That's a bullshit call. Bullshit call. Gooch went 5 for Sunderland in a win, 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Scally,
all because he won. All because he got 5 minutes, right?
Not really. Scally went 90 in a tie. Nothing to really. I mean, I watched like 70 minutes of that game. Got bored a little. Not a whole lot of Scally action in that game. He just was, did his normal thing. Didn't go too far forward. Played defense. Brooks and Matarazzo went 90 in a loss for Hoffenheim, which was sad because I thought Brooks played really well in the game. And I hate to see Matarazzo losing anything.
Wait. You actually found out that Brooks was playing?
Brooks did play. He went the full 90.
How did you find that out? Where did you find that information at?
I went on what we use, Transfer Market. Oh, no, we use US Soccer Way, right? That's our usual one. because they actually get the formations correct, unlike fucking Google and all the other assholes out there on the fucking web. Maloney, our good boy Leonard Maloney, got started his, I think, third Bundesliga game because he did get, I think, 2 starts for Dortmund while he was there. Kind of, those were nice little.
Definitely got some playing time in there somewhere. Yeah, I don't know if it was starts or not, but
no, charity minutes. And but he's now the full-fledged holding midfielder. He is the Tyler Adams of Heidenheim. Let's just put it that way, right? He's a wrecking ball. And he did a really good, and he might be the future backup wrecking ball for this U.S. men's national team because he went out there and did, I think, a pretty goddamn good job for Heidenheim. They still lost to Wolfsburg, who I think are looking really good. But Maloney went 84, and Paredes came in for the last minute for Wolfsburg.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, 1
That's
minute
awesome.
for Paredes. Yep. Fossey went 90 for Standard Liège. Luca De La Torre went 80 in a tie. I'm not sure Celta Vigo looking that great. Tillman and Pepi.
They barely staved off relegation last year. So,
yeah,
how much better can they possibly look?
Who's better, Lenny or Tanner Tessman? You mean Lenny from like the movie
Mice and Men?
Mice and Men? Who's Lenny?
Leonard
Tillman? Excuse me, Leonard Maloney.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just sort of it's hard to tell because of the level that Tanner Tessman's playing at Venezia. He's really he is the backbone of the central midfield for Venezia, but they're playing against such shit teams in fucking Serie B. It's almost hard to understand how good Tessman is right now because he's literally playing against teams that are worse than MLS teams. So it's impossible to say. It's hard to say. I wish I could give you an answer, Casanova, but I'm not sure. Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz,
Eric's favorite musician,
started out strong and went to total shit. Total fucking shit.
What's your favorite Lenny Kravitz song?
I don't have one anymore because after he started singing about dragonflies and then he did a cover of American Woman like some fucking idiot moron. That song sucks to start with, and now you're going to do a cover of a shitty song?
It's like, well, if it's already sucks, I could probably make it better, right?
It's vomit worthy, dude. Vomit worthy. All right. Which is sad. First album, I like Lenny Kravitz. All right. Fossey. We talked about Tillman and Pepi rode the pine for 90. We already mentioned it for PSV. Holmes. So here's a guy that's making a comeback. Dwayne Holmes has started again for Preston North End. Went 77 at right forward. Or you could call him a winger, I guess. But it looked like a forward to me. In a win for Preston North End. And if this keeps up, maybe he gets another look. But not from Greg. Because he don't like Dwayne Holmes. They had a little dispute.
If Greg doesn't give him a look, then his national team career is over at that point because he's going to be way too out. He's going to be aged.
Wasn't it Brian Schroeder we had on the show? Who's like, oh, yeah, they got into it on the sideline.
Yeah. I mean, who else? I don't know anybody else who would have had that.
It was Brian. I'm pretty sure it was Brian we had on the show. He's like, yeah, I'd tell you guys a little. And I don't think that was after the show. I think it was during the show. He didn't tell us that in secret, did he? If he did, we just fucked him.
Well, I mean, that was like a year and some change ago. So
it's a year and a half.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's a year ago, yeah. So sorry, Brian, if you gave us inside information and we just fucked you. All right. But yes, apparently Berhalter and Holmes like went on it, like had a big fucking argument on the sideline during one of the practices. And Holmes, as you know, but Holmes has had these arguments with Wayne Rooney when he was at Derby.
Yeah.
Derby. So this is nothing unique. Dwayne Holmes has clashed with many of his managers. Not a surprise. Haji Wright, we already mentioned him. He got an assist for Coventry. They tied Swansea. Now on to Sunday.
Real quick, Nick Vincent wants to know how you were bored with the Joe Scally game. It was like 4-4.
I only watched the game because I wanted to see how Joe Scally was doing. I wasn't really interested in either team playing. I'm not a Gladbach guy. I'm just, I don't know.
You're a specialty fan. Yeah, we talked about this last week.
I mean, the reason that watching Norwich is exciting is because Sargent's the center forward, right? And you're like, oh, he's going to score some goals. You have no expectation whatsoever that Joe Scally's going to do diddly.
Scally's going to defend Davies. Woo!
You have no expectation that he's going to score diddly twat in any game. Because I think Scally has 1 goal or maybe 2 in his whole Bundesliga career. That's just not what he provides. Aronson, 76. We already talked about PFOC. We talked like we already said he's fucked. Paxton Aronson and Timmy Chandler rode Pine. No, they didn't even ride Pine, Brett. They didn't even get into the 18 for Frankfurt this weekend.
So the Pine was at their house.
They were sitting on cushions, not even Pine.
Yeah.
Didn't dress. And then Diego Cocken, goalkeeper at Barcelona, was the backup goalkeeper, 17-year-old Diego
yes.
Cocken. No, I'm sure it's pronounced Koken or Koken. No, Koken. It's Kochen. Koken.
Talking to the wrong person when it comes to pronunciation.
Cocken. Anyhow, he's American. He's 17 years old. He was the backup goalkeeper for the game. That's crazy at Barcelona. Paxton was sick. Oh, of course he was. Paxton listed as injured. Paxton was explosive diarrhea. That's what I want to see, Chris Carey. Yes, buddy. That's how I would have said it. Perfect, man. I love it, Chris. That is awesome. So Paxton missed the game because of explosive diarrhea, and they assigned Chandler to wipe it for him because it's all over the place.
Yeah.
All right.
All over. John says coach and I think or thought.
Coaching, huh? Anyhow, I mean, I was just shocked to see this guy on the fucking 18. I'm like, you got
Diego Cocken balls?
Diego coaching balls. All right. Anyhow, crazy to see him there. Reynolds went 90 in a loss. Otasawi, no shocker, did not dress. Slonina went 90 in a win. Good performance for him at Eupen.
3 saves, I think, is what I heard.
Yeah. Booth still injured. Mihailovic went 20 for Aze in a win. Mendez and Alvarado did not even dress for Vasela. Jonathan Amon went 6 for Lindgby. Christian Kappas went 3 for Brøndby. Justin Butler, 13 for Dortmund 2. Mail Corbos, 90 for Verl. Joe Enox had a win for Regensburg. He's the coach of Regensburg, American. Isaiah Young, 86 minutes for Rot-Weiss Essen. Johan Gomez, the brother of the probably hopeless right back for Barcelona. Left back for Barcelona, and now on loan.
Not Barcelona, Atletico.
For loan. He's on loan.
No, he's not at Barcelona. He's at Atletico.
But he's on loan. He's currently on loan.
He's certainly not on loan to Barcelona.
No, to a Segunda team, I believe. It doesn't matter. He's not going to amount to a hill of beans. All right. Sorry. I'm just telling all of you. Get off of that.
He's at Sociedad.
Real Sociedad. And he's on loan too. But he's on loan. Chambers, he's on loan to somebody right now. Is it Cadiz? I can't remember. And it doesn't matter. The reason I don't know is because I'm not interested.
Wasn't Cadiz interested in Ferreira? Isn't that why you're probably thinking?
Oh, yeah. Ferreira. No, they weren't. Even Ferreira said Cadiz wasn't interested in Ferreira. He came out and said that's all was horseshit. It's the second time Ferreira's had to come out and say, nobody was interested in me.
Yeah, Cadiz wanted to pay me $400,000. I get like 4 times that.
He literally came out and said, this is all bullshit. All that was bullshit. Nobody ever approached me. Cadiz did not approach me. That's all been a lie.
You know, Ferreira's agent is sitting back there going like, "Hey, Zeus, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm trying to boost your stock up.
I'm trying to sell your cock and balls.
I want a goddamn payday, man."
And you keep telling everybody nobody's interested in cock and balls.
Nobody wants me. I'm just going to stay here at FC Dallas. Oh, God. There you go.
All right.
This is the exact quote I believe you said. No one gives a fuck
Gives a
about
fuck
me.
about me. Jesus Ferreira, 2023. So true. So true. All right. Moving on. Oh, by the way, Johan Gomez, a player who actually plays for his team, even though it's in a lower league, but he does play, you have to admit, for Braunschweig, right?
Second division, though, isn't it, in Germany?
Yeah, but still, I think it might be third. No, it's second or third.
Second now. I think you got promoted, right?
That's where liverwurst was invented, Brett.
Oh, that's fun.
Liverwurst. Okay. So you got to give them respect for playing that. They did have a win against Schalke, so that is second division. Tessman, 90 for Venezia in a win, and he was key to that. But Busio, surprisingly, went 81 minutes in their 3-1 win. Novakovic didn't even dress. Neither did Jack DeVries. So two other Americans didn't even get to dress. Kobe Hernandez Foster was in the 18 for Ham Camp, but did not play. Another one of those moments.
Was that Pete's guy?
Yes.
Okay.
He was also a Justin Che guy, though, too. But I think a lot of us thought Justin Che would be worthy.
We had hoped. I mean, there's definitely the promise, you know.
Yeah. Sebastian Soto did not dress for Klagenfurt. He might also have explosive diarrhea. We're not sure. But the food's pretty good there, so I'm not sure why. Bello?
Bad Mexican, right? Mexican.
No, there's no Mexican food in Klagenfurt.
That's why it's bad, right?
Now somebody's going to say, there's Mexican food everywhere, dumbass. Bello.
Taco Bell downtown.
What do you think Bello did?
95 minutes.
90 minutes for Lask in a tie. He got to start.
Oh, I was bullshitting too. Fuck.
Yeah. Told John 90 minutes in a loss for Sassuolo. Guess we already mentioned he got traded. Okay, some MLS guys just to throw out there at the end because Aiden Morris got a goal for Columbus. Christian Ramirez got an assist for Columbus in their win versus Cincinnati.
Let's also talk real quickly though, because Pete made a big deal about Aiden Morris's goal. Apparently, it was a cracker. Big, not just talking about Aiden Morris either, but the shot itself was a cracker. Apparently,
dude, everybody gets one of those.
Well, so he's hyping it up, and
not everyone, but eventually you get a cracker in your career. In my high school career, I had at least 3. From outside the box, just absolute fucking crackers.
Derek's had 3 crackers
in high school. That's not the same thing as MLS, but you know, for me, it's the same challenge, right?
Yeah.
Tolkien goal win versus DC.
Yeah.
Corey Baird, remember him?
Yeah.
He got a goal for. I think he's got like 3 U.S. men's national team appearances. He got a goal.
They're handing out like candy at this point. Come on. They're all Camp Cupcakes.
Hey, but here's one. Gioacchini.
Yes. 10 goals so far this season.
A brace for St. Louis. Even Tim Parker scored one.
I was going to say, they scored 6 in that game. So I feel like everybody on the team scored a goal there.
Hey, Vasilev didn't, though. All right. Brendan Lennon. An assist for Atlanta in a win. Ebobasi, an assist for San Jose. And just to finish this shit out, Chris Richards didn't play for Crystal Palace. There we go.
We left one off, Derek.
Hoppy looked good at left Horvath.
Jackie D brought up him sitting on the bench, Hoppy sitting on the bench, but I love the joke that Chambers made there, left Horvath.
Listen, something's wrong with Hoppy. Brett, I've talked about it on the show before. I could make some phone calls and figure out what it is. I'm just afraid to do it because I just don't want to. I don't want to like invite bad news, or I don't want to impede on certain people and like, hey man, tell me what's going on. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to like wait for them to reach out to me. If they want to do that, they can. But right now, what Hoppy's going through is a rough time.
Well,
period.
For me at this point, I'm chalking this up as one of the ones that I bid on. So like, you know, you had what's his name? Gideon as your big one.
Yeah, I was
this was mine, quite frankly, because I mean, I had high expectations for the kid. I mean, he did okay with Schalke and killed it at Gold Cup. I thought, I'm like, man, this kid's gonna do something.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree.
Until he proves me otherwise, man, I got chalked up.
Anyhow, I want to thank everybody who came out tonight to watch the show. Thank you for showing up. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share it with grandma before you leave. And listen, you know, we talked about this numerous times, and I think it's time for us to all get comfortable with the idea that there was probably some sexual relations in the Brady family. And they're not going to show that on the show, obviously.
Sexual healing, probably.
Sexual healing. That's like that song.
Yeah.
Sexual healing. No, sexual something. What's the song? Sexual healing is something that's good for me. That's Marvin Gaye, which is one of the greatest songs ever. That's like way past some of his best stuff he ever did. Marvin Gaye. If you don't know Marvin Gaye, look up Marvin Gaye. Look up his 70s stuff. It's fucking amazing.
Where does Chris Brady fall in the Brady family?
Which one was Chris? Was he the middle boy?
He starts for Chicago Fire.
Listen. I just imagined that would have made that show so much better if there's actual tension between the two oldest, the girl and the boy. That was what? Greg and who's the oldest girl?
Not Marcia.
Jan?
Jan. No. Didn't Jan?
Marcia is the younger middle one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been cool if they would have had some sort of.
Jan. I don't know. Fuck if I know.
Can you imagine the show where Greg goes to his dad and goes, "Listen, Dad."
There you go. DMR's got it. So yeah, David D says no. It's Marcia. Marcia's the oldest, then Jan, then Cindy.
Thank you. Okay, but can you imagine if the show had one of the scenes where it starts off and it's Greg going to his dad and saying, "Listen, Dad, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm starting to have feelings for Marcia," and the dad's like, just freaks out. When he should be like, "Well, that's understandable, son. She's not your real sister." And I get that. So those feelings are completely natural.
It's like, I understand it. We've already done it twice.
Me and Marcia have already had. I totally fucked her already.
Obviously, incredibly awkward since we're talking about people that she's going to be like high school age. So probably not the best of topics to really be talking about, but.
So that conversation would have been like, "Okay, Greg, I understand because like I empathize because Marcia and I already fucked a couple times, so I know your feelings, but we're not related actually, so it's totally cool. But the problem is I'm already doing her on the side, so there you go."
It's like Obi-Wan and Ahsoka all over again. And that's what this show does. It's full circle, guys. Come on.
Yes. All right. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card, make sure that you like, subscribe, share it with grandma, and say hi to your stepsister if you haven't in a while. Just greet her, say hello. Hey, I have fond memories of our time together. Until the next time, we'll see you soon.
She's a trap, she's an unsung novel, turn a lap and get your whole world dazzled on the line, or a phone call with or without wine.
That hurt. I'm tuned in like crazy, and I'm pretending like I know what they're doing, and I'm
articulate and intelligent.
Greg's a bitch.